Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, I had to plug in my headphones because they weren't plugged in. My brother has been using my Blue Yeti recently to record some of his nice tracks. He's actually coming out with an album. I don't know what it's called. I don't know how many songs are going to be on it. I just know that the style is more lo-fi, I guess. Sorry. I also just had dinner. Really good dinner. Filet. Luscious. And tonight we are drinking a rum and Diet Coke. I felt the need to switch things up again because I was kind of getting sick of the Stellas, which is fine. It's not a big deal. It's just been a daily thing, though, you know. And I'm a woman of variety. I like a little change in my repertoire, so that's what we're doing today. We're mixing up. We're mixing everything up today. Can I just say, all right, I had a really good day today. And my cat's waking up. I had a really good day today in terms of my to-do list, because I have like daily to-do lists that I usually try to get through at the very least. I very rarely ever complete them in their fullness. But today, the to-do list consisted of laundry, finishing my 5th project for artificial intelligence, which was a Sudoku solver, which turned out really well, actually. I am scoring some extra credit points on the next assignment, which I desperately need because I haven't been making full marks on the previous ones. The projects themselves have been a little bit difficult. But anyway, so laundry project, I wanted to wash my sheets and flip my bed over, which, by the way, did you know you're supposed to flip your mattress? I did not. That thing has never gotten flipped, never gotten changed. It's been in my life since I stopped using a crib, I'm pretty sure, which means that I'm gonna have like the worst back in the entire galaxy when I turn old in like 20 years or so. I'm just kidding. What else did I do? I cleaned my bathroom and the basement bathroom. And I finished the video, which will be live on Monday. I'm thinking sometime in the morning so that I can just kind of let it sit and stuff. It's going to be a premiere. It is a hashtag everything is sexist. It is a hashtag everything is sexist. And it's been a few months in the making. Not that I've been like constantly trying to work towards making this video. It's the reason why it's been a few months in the making is because I initially finished making it in January. And then I was like, hang on, hold up. I want to wait to see what else happens to do with this subject because it was an ongoing lawsuit that was happening. And I wanted to get a few more updates before it was that I actually, released it. So I let it sit. I let it fester. Ooh, fester. Good word, right? So I let it culminate, the story that is. And then I finally was like, I think now is a good opportunity. One, because everyone is just constantly desperate for non-COVID related news. And there have been a few more updates regarding this case that it is that I'm working on. So we're releasing it. Yes, the mini-me Weebo, our avatar, is making a guest appearance as well. Actually, she takes center stage for a great majority of the video, mainly because a lot of the video has to do with background. And you are going through several years of history regarding this case. So is a doozy. There's a lot of stuff that I had to put in here. And in order to concatenate it, I had to be like, all right, you guys, this is just a summary. The actual links to the things that I'm talking about are in the description. They go into a little bit more detail, although a lot of them are repetitious because this has been an ongoing case. So I'm excited. I'm good. Oh, yes, that's right. It's Easter Sunday. Happy Easter to all who celebrate it, and happy Eggs and Bunny Rabbits Day to those who don't. I am drinking a rum and coke. I'd like to know what y'all are drinking as well. I don't know where Polly is right now. I can check the Discord to see if he's updated me about his whereabouts, but I see no such updates, and so I will just nag him and be like, bruh, where you at home slice? Anyway, like I said, really good day today. I got a lot done. I got a little bit daring with what it is that I do with the thumbnails for my videos. For patrons, note that the video that's going live tomorrow is available on the Discord. If you're a part of the Discord, it is available in the Discord through a link, unlisted link, and it will be available until about midnight this evening, or midnight tomorrow. Midnight. It will be available until midnight Central Standard Time. So you have pre-access before it is that I set it to premiering, and I give it all of the bells and whistles that I haven't done thus far. So enjoy. I've also been thinking about torturing myself with the Cats film. Because that's a relatively recent addition to cinematography, and I thought, hey, you know what? My viewers like to see me torture myself, so why the fuck not? So at some point in the coming few days, I'm going to watch the movie and then review it. And then I also have a few other films that I need to watch regarding the collab between myself and Polly. By the way, the collab, the one that was supposed to be uploaded during the holidays, yeah, that's uploaded. That's on Polly's channel. Go check it out. His link is in the description. And then I think I mentioned it in my previous video that had to do with the Star Wars Holiday Special. For those of you who are unaware, Star Wars Holiday Special collab between myself and Polly is on Polly's channel, not mine. Polly's channel, not mine. We are going to be doing, Polly and myself, a collab on my channel. I just haven't finished watching all the movies that I need to in order to start actively doing the collab. It's, I think, maybe 6 more films that I have to finish, and I will be hopefully getting through some of those this week. But keep in mind, I have a 4th checkpoint, not this coming week, but next week for my senior project, which determines if I get my major in computer science or not, and the rest of my future subsequently. So that takes precedent. I apologize, but it does. So if things don't fall into place as neatly as I'd like them to, there are reasons. I have good reasons. I hope you guys can understand. But yes. Anyway, so, sorry. Now that I've updated everyone on my life and all of the jazz, 8 minutes in. We're still waiting on Polly. It's fine. I can say hello to everybody. Hello, John Smith, Ryan Walters, Per de Burr. Oh, and the chat just jumped. The next 6 minutes. Grim Grinners, Evolved Potato. Hello. Weebo Jones, if you're going to torture yourself with cats, torture Polly with you. You know what? You're right. I should absolutely be doing that. And you know what? I also should be opening up Streamlabs because I did not have that open. By the way, guys, if you would like to support the show, myself and Polly included, you can find our links in the description down below. Enjoy. Oh, I need to log in. There we go. What else? I'm just biding my time, waiting for the gosh darn diddly link to go through so I can make sure that I haven't missed a donation. Yep, we're good. All right, cool. So, who else was in the chat? Ryan Walters, the COVID, all cats. Oh, W.R. Costin asks, are cats evil? I would venture to guess no. They're simply just more selfish, you know? They are self-obsessed, which doesn't necessarily mean that they're evil inherently, because my cat's pretty affectionate to me, very grateful to me for rescuing it, and very loving as well. And he brings me presents. He brings me dead bunny rabbits sometimes. So I would say no, not evil. Self-absorbed, certainly, but no, not evil. Not in the slightest. I adore my cat. He's not quite a cat, though. He acts like a dog. So there's that. And then I do want to switch the chat. Where's the pop-out chat? There we go. I want to make sure that I can actually read this thing live, as is. Woo. All right. Good. Excellent. James Colley says that the holiday special collab that Polly and I were working on, I'm pretty sure it needs a part 2. I'm inclined to agree, but given the fact that it took forever and a day for Polly to get like that boat rolling, I'm gonna say it'll probably be a thing like 6 months 6 months from now. Which is not a super big deal. I mean, 6 months from now, what it'll it be? It'll be October, mid-October. Maybe we'll shoot for 8 months from now. How about that? Then we'll actually have an upload for the holidays. It'll be great. It is a fun time though. I'm gonna say I have a lot more fun actually sitting down with Polly and deciding what goes where speech wise, as opposed to the actual editing part. I don't know why. It's a great time. Just coming up with fun little things to just in there. It's a good time. Lion Patriot, your Streamlabs is still not letting me change my name. I don't know why that is, but it's I don't think it's necessary. Okay, I'm not gonna say it's not important because whenever it is that people donate to Streamlabs, I still happen to know whatever it is account wise that their name is registered on under if they're donating with like a PayPal account or sometimes their credit cards too. So I actually do see it. No one else does see it. Because I don't have it routed through anything that would do that. I'm not using OBS, so it's not an issue as far as I'm aware. So if that is a point of contention, and you don't want Streamlabs to know your name, I guess there's always the direct PayPal link as well, because the same thing happens either way. But I'm not 100% sure. But no one else is seeing your name except for me. But I will see your name regardless of if you change your name. So there's that. I think that's the only reason why it is that they have that option. So if you're routing Streamlabs through OBS, or if you're, using the this person donated and it's displaying on the screen, that's why they have that option. Because I don't have that set up for StreamYard, it shouldn't be as much of an issue. I hope I explained that correctly. Polly's not here to tell me whether or not I was clear or not. So I apologize if I wasn't. But I hope I kind of explained that. And I have been looking into what's going on with Streamlabs, because there have been a few people that have come to me like, oh, this isn't working, or oh, I can't do this, or something of that nature. And sometimes Streamlabs decides to update things without telling me. And so I'm like, all right, hang on, let's see what's going on in here. Technology, am I right? I'm having wee boomer moments more frequently than at school. Probably because I haven't really been sober for a day in the last 3 weeks. COVID, am I right? James Colley, I would pay for it to be done sooner. What's a good amount? Well, I'd have to confer with my co-host. But I don't know. Enough to get both of us motivated would probably be somewhere like how motivated? I don't know. It depends. If you want it like this week, it would probably be sorry, because we'd have to encourage Polly to not only sit down with me and myself to sit down with Polly, but it would have to like take precedence over all of our other real life stuff on that list of things that we do. So if you wanted it done like this week, probably like $800. Oh god, I hate making estimates when there's other people involved, but like, yeah, it would have to be in like the several $100s thing, because it would take a while, because we need to sit down, we need to come up with a script, we need to like 5 minutes takes like 3 hours just to script, because Polly's picky and I'm picky, and these ideas don't just like fall out of us like hair. So yeah, it would be a hefty sum. If you wanted it within the month, probably definitely a lot less than that. Probably less than that. Definitely less than that. But I don't want to say any hard numbers without Polly, because it takes 2 of us and he's not here. So when he gets here, reiterate the question, I guess. Plus, it's like subtract the 5 minutes from the actual amount of just Wookiee speak that they were going through. It's probably like another 45 minutes of content that we would have to go through. And if you're wanting just 5 more minutes, I guess we also have to account for that in the calculation. But if you wanted the whole 45 minutes, oh, that would take forever. Like I said, 5 minutes took 3 hours because Polly and myself. And then, of course, it took several months to actually get the thing done without Weebo supervision. And then finally, Weebo supervision, it took another 3 hours to actually edit. Money, 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 money. Yes, it's a lot. $1 million. No, I'm just kidding. It's not that I don't want to do it again. It is just that it's a time sink. It's an edit sink as well. There's a lot that goes into it, and you do have to think not critically, but we've established a lore. We have to be consistent. Like, I don't know if you noticed, but we started calling, was it Lumpy? Yeah. Lumpy, his new name to the other adults in the room, the other adult Wookiees, is Little Shit. And that is just going to have to remain consistent throughout. There's also the matching up of the Wookiee noises to the length of what it is that we're saying. There's also the subplot of Itchy being really, really perverted. And we're going to go through like a whole... Oh god, the segment where he's watching simulated psychedelic porn is going to be a whole hot mess. I'm just thinking about it right now, and it's... James Colley, you have the double chromosome. You are the boss. I mean, there is an argument to be made there. Mm-hmm. Oh boy. Yeah. I don't think it's necessarily super possible for it to get done this week, but we will have something hopefully before then. I don't want to commit to anything without Polly in the room. I'm just going to say very non-specifically, we'll do a thing at some point. There we go. Thank you to Lion Patriot who donated to say, Buddy and me ate lunch on the front porch today. It would have been more fun if it wasn't raining. That is unfortunate. It did start raining earlier today while it was that I was enjoying my nice cocktail on the front lawn, but the front porch with Daphne and my father. He was drinking a Stella. I was drinking this, not the same drink, but like the same drink. I've had a few of these. But yeah, it started kind of like spitting on us, which was unfortunate because initially today it was pretty sunny and I would have liked to enjoy more outside. Supposedly, and this is pissing me off, supposedly it's supposed to snow this week. Can you believe that? It is April. Although, that being said, I'm not surprised. Fun fact, Weebo, my little brother, he was born on a day in May where it hailed. Oh, hang on. I gotta let Cole out. He wants to be rid of my company. Sorry. Are you giving me lip? You're giving me lip, aren't you? Oh, speaking of Cole. So, earlier today, he was out in the sun. This was before it started raining, but he was out in the sun and he was just kind of on his back, splayed out like, I don't know, like a rug. It was great. It was hilarious. But then he starts like, and this is how you know that I've lost it because I have nothing else to enjoy and spend my time doing. But I was watching him for a solid like 20 minutes just groom himself on the back patio in the sun, rolling around on the concrete, just like, just either side. It was great. Also, I've come to the conclusion that my cat is not quite gray. He's like primarily gray with like several tints of brown and then a white tough spot right here and under here in his belly. So yeah, that's how I'm doing in quarantine. How are you guys? Lion Patriot says, May babies are best babies. I am inclined to disagree as an April baby myself. I did not ever bring my father the added expense of having been hailed on, so there's that. Anyway. So how are we doing, ladies and gentlemen, in quarantine? Is it like... Are we starting to go crazy? Have we lost touch with reality yet? I mean, I'm not quite 100% completely alone, and I have plenty of things to do, but I am getting to that point where I've started to get itchy, with the prospect of leaving the household, and I don't know when that's going to happen yet. Not that I wasn't already, but it's just become more advanced. I'd like to be able. I've started making plans for after all of this is over, and those plans include like I'm gonna perfect the Bloody Mary recipe, a Bloody Mary recipe, and I'm gonna bring it with me to a friend's house when we're all available to social gather again, and we're gonna, I don't know, we're gonna have a nice party. I'm gonna wear a cute dress. It's gonna be great, but no boys allowed. Sorry. It'll be great though. I'm gonna after I get out of here, I think I'm gonna go rollerblading with boyfriend, or roller skating, or ice skating. I haven't quite made up my mind. We could do all three. I definitely want to go to a movie theater. Oh, absolutely, yes. Unfortunately, they might not exist after all of this is over because they kind of rely on patronage, like in-person patronage, in order to succeed. Hopefully that's not the case because I love going to the movies. But another interesting point, and I've seen this being brought up, especially on Twitter, is the idea of bringing back the drive-in movie theater. Now, I don't know how many of you guys have actually ever been to a drive-in movie theater. I quite enjoy them. I think that it offers for a little bit more of a personal experience, especially if you're with somebody else. Because I like to watch movies. I don't like to stay silent during movies. I like to talk my ass off during movies and, ridicule and bitch and moan and all the jazz about the movie because I have opinions and shit, if it weren't clear. But I do like to go to the movie theater. The problem is, I like to make comments, and in a traditional movie theater, I can't make comments. I cannot make any comments, which is a problem, right? But in a drive-in movie theater, it's not really a big issue. So there's that. However, the one time that I did go to a drive-in movie theater, great experience, by the way. Went with a boyfriend, and I went with Balik and his girlfriend. Although we had to park separate from each other because, for whatever reason, we decided it was going to be a good idea to bring one of those little, like a car, as opposed to a big truck or a van to a drive-in movie theater. And everyone else and their mother had already gotten the memo that, hey, you bring a lifted car, something with a little bit more height, not something that you're just kind of like in, not something you have to stoop down to get into, but something that is at level, because then you're not worried about people blocking your vantage, which I didn't realize until we got there, and that it was a thing. So I learn something new every day. Things to think about, things to consider when it is that you go to a drive-in movie theater is the elevation of your vehicle and the vantage perspective of the actual screen. Tip number 1. Anyway, Wikipedia snippet. Like mystery scene theater at Weebo Jones. I need like a clarify about what that is. Is that? Yeah, I'm gonna need to clarify on that. Por favor. But I did want to. There we go. Highlight this one. Lord Famine. Drive-ins are awesome. Have one about 45 minutes from me. Yeah. The one that I went to was in Indiana. But I'd like to go to one closer to here. I think we have a few, hopefully. I haven't actually looked, but if I'm thinking about it, if I'm honestly, truly thinking about it, I'm pretty sure that our local movie theater could definitely repurpose their parking lot for a drive-in movie theater if they so choose. Definitely. They had a fundraiser to update a local drive-in theater to the new digital technology. Well, that's good. And then Wikipedia snippet also said, talking about the movie at Weebo Jones. I've never seen Mystery Science Theater. I'm going to need more explanation on that because I am confused and also a bit ignorant. In terms of entertainment, though, I will say this, right? I am a big fan of novel experiences. So the traditional, like, oh, let's go to a movie thing, that does excite me, but it does get old after a while if you've done it too much. Um, I need something novel every once in a while. And my grandmother has introduced me to a whole world of novel experiences, from card games to train. Um, how do I put this? Train investigations, train murder mystery experiences where you go, you meet up, you dress up as a character from a specific time period, and you're all given a role to play in the murder train mystery, and you you have to interview other people and socialize with other people in order to figure out who's who did what, who knows what, and maybe even solve the murder mystery of who died and why they died and who killed them. I did this once with my grandmother, her late husband, my dad, I think his girlfriend, my aunt, my uncle, their 3 children, and my brother. We all did this together because my grandmother, she really wanted us to all do it together as a family. And, thank God that she did, because it was a great experience. And I'm pretty sure my brother was the murderer, if I'm not mistaken. I'm like 98% sure on that. But it was a really fun time because you all get on the train with not just my family, but like a whole bunch of other strangers. And you socialize with them on the train. And then, like an hour, 2 hours later, you get off at a stop and you have dinner and you continue to interview people, but dinner is included on this experience. And then I think the train ride back, maybe halfway through the train ride back, they uncover who it is that's responsible for the murder. There's a whole ceremony to it, and it's a great time. It's a great time. Okay, so explanation. Here it is. Wikipedia snippet. The host and some bots make remarks about cheesy old sci-fi flicks on the screen. Okay, so I don't think I've ever seen that specifically. Oh, and Angela, thank you so much. I think, yes, this. Okay, so Mystery Science Theater 3000. Silhouettes in a movie theater with a movie playing on a screen in the background while the silhouetted characters talk about the movie that's playing. Oh, okay. So what I'm thinking is the closest is going to be, I'm so sorry, but the closest example that I have to this specifically would be Lion King 1.5, wherein Timon and Pumbaa are basically just kind of sitting there in front of the screen as silhouettes and just kind of having an interaction with each other and the movie. That's as close as I think I've ever gotten. But yes, basically that's me. In a nutshell. Yes, your brother was Ryan Walters. Your brother was the maid in the loft with a candlestick. Essentially. Yes, essentially. Essentially. That was how this went down. Is it sad that my example of Mystery Science Theater is a Disney movie that I think was a direct to DVD release? And that's it? That's the extent of it? Is that sad? Alright, let's see if Plea is here. No, he is not. It's okay. Sad face. Oh, by the way, guys, there is a link to the Discord, my Discord, the Flubber Initiative, in the description of this video. If you so choose to join, you should know that we are in the process of doing gaming stuff. Of course, I am waiting on a motherboard so I can update this bad boy right here, the thing that it is that I use to do stuff with the YouTubes. So we're waiting on that, and then we can play more advanced games that aren't Quiplash. But in addition to that, we also do movie nights. Yes, we do. And those are always fun times. Because they're just like a social gathering. They're usually movies that I've already seen or that are shitty movies. Because here's the thing. If we're actually watching a movie that everyone wants to watch and everyone is included on it in the Discord, it's a problem because I talk. Sometimes other people talk. Sometimes people, join and then they start talking and they don't realize that we're watching a movie or something of that nature. and it becomes a problem. So if we watch really crappy movies and just rage aholic at them, I guess, it's not a big deal. If we watch movies that everyone's already seen, again, not a big deal. The smaller viewing parties are the ones where you want to only watch with a few people. A movie about a movie that you actually want to watch. So there's that. What else do we got? Michael Hatfield. I love the murder mystery dinner. I have went to the train yacht on Lake Michigan and mansion in Forest Park. Great experiences with my grandparents. Ooh, I'd like to go to a mansion and do that. That sounds like a lot of fun. Ooh. And I'm supposed to check the discard. Ooh, Mystery Science watch parties. Excellent. I love this. I love it. Mother of pearl, my language is hard to produce. Sorry. I guess I'm that drunk. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Wikipedia snippet. There we go. Back in the day, there was the Rocky Horror Picture Show with people shouting quips right in the theater. Ooh, that's another one. That is another one that I want to see that I have not seen yet. All right? Rocky Horror Picture Show. I've heard good things. I've heard some interesting things. I watched Perks of Being a Wallflower, in which that was like a talking point within the film. And it looks good. It looks like something that I would enjoy watching because it looks a little bit crazy, you know? So, perhaps we'll do a watch party of Rocky Horror Picture Show. Also, I like Tim Curry a lot. Oh, Lion Patriot says, check out Weebo memes and gaze upon the glory that is Weebo. Yeah, we have an entire channel dedicated to exclusively candid shots of myself in all of my nutty glory whenever it is that I make a silly face on one of these shindigs, or a video, or literally anything. Also, we have Weebo's iconic quote section, where you guys take me out of context and make me feel like an idiot sometimes. But it is the way that it is. We're not having an issue. I'm a very good-natured person. I'm good. Hang on. Zelstrike asks, what up, Weebo? How's the quarantine? It's okay. All right. The thing about this quarantine is, I've made a few comments about how I'm doing in this, and some of them have been misconstrued. So people seem to think you're either one of two things. You're running out of, well, actually, no. It's usually just predominantly you're running out of things to do, and so thus you are super bored out of your mind and can only drink to live through this experience sanely so, which is not the case in my case. I have no shortage of things to do. I have a list of things that I gotta get done. School-wise, that's half of the battle. The other half is YouTube nonsense. Or not even half. This is maybe just a quarter of everything else that I got going on. In addition to that, I have, I'm taking down a whole bunch of recipes, and I'm applying for jobs still, and I am, what else am I doing? Oh, I'm finishing off the album for the Paris trip because I wanted to do that. So I have a bunch of little side projects that are occupying my time. The problem is my productivity has been shot because of the fact that I am working at home with 3 other people in the same household. And so because of that, one, I'm spending more time with a lot more people every single night, just all the time. But in addition to that, we're all in the same house, and so when we're all trying to work on a project or something, we're all distracting each other. And that's another thing, is the productivity has just kind of plummeted for me at the very least, because I'm one of those people that I cannot be distracted. I do not want to be talked to when it is I have headphones in my ear. I don't want to be engaged while it is that I'm in the middle of trying to do something, because it's a problem. It will pull me out of that thing that I'm doing. And sometimes that's a good thing, especially if I've been at it for 5 straight hours and I haven't eaten yet. Definitely pull me out. Right? Get me out of the zone. But if you're constantly pulling me out of the zone, it's really hard to get back into the zone because it has to do with inertia, right? An object in motion will continue to be in motion unless acted upon by another force. That would be this case. So I need to motivate myself to get into the zone. Once I'm in the zone, I have no problem. But if you continuously pull me out of it, I have to work towards getting back into the zone more frequently. And that's just, it's exhausting because mustering up that amount of motivation more than once in a day is, I've never had to do it before. That's the problem. I'm not used to it. That's the whole thing. That's the long and short of it. So there's that. It's not boring to me. It's just, I feel discouraged. And that is unfortunate. If I were back at school, I would be less so, most likely, because I don't have a problem getting myself into a zone and remaining in the zone because I don't have to worry about people coming down and interrupting me because they're making oatmeal, or coming down and interrupting me because they want me to let the dog and the cat in the house and then out of the house and then in the house. That's another thing too. I used to do my homework sitting at the kitchen table downstairs, and I had to stop doing that because yes, it's got great lighting. Yes, it's got a somewhat comfortable chair, although I started to experience severe back pain sitting in that chair. So we're not going to even go there. But the problem was, one, it's a central hub for activity. The other problem is the cat and the dog want to go in and out of that part of the house because that is where the back door is. Very frequently. It was in and out and in and out and in and out. And there are two animals in the household, and they both like to go outside and come back in whenever they please. And so that was another thing that was pulling me out of the zone. Anyway, I won't continue to bore you with the zone conversations. We will carry on. But now you get it. This is where I'm coming from. Alex says, I have a lot of video games I can play during quarantine that I never made time for when I was working. The only problem I have is no socializing and meeting new people. Well, that's what it is that we're doing here. I am hopefully helping you get out of that shell that the quarantine has created, in the sense that you have something to watch, something to interact with, in the chat as well. So, I mean, hopefully this is helping somewhat. I hope. Maybe not for everybody, but for a number of people, I hope that this can be an aid in that respect. We are in the age of online interaction, which I've been doing for quite many years. Not an issue for me. There's also the Discord, which is another nice new place to meet new people if you would like to meet new people and get out of your bubble of self-containedness. The Discord is an option there, and we can socialize over there, which is great, and interact too. I think I spent Friday night, I was on with Balik in his Discord, and we had been interacting with, when my boyfriend was on, and then also his girlfriend and another friend we had from college, and then some friends that he had from gaming that he'd done previously. We were all interacting. We were playing a great game, getting drunk. We couldn't be with each other, but we were with each other, kind of in spirit, and interacting. We were playing Quiplash initially, and then we moved on to something akin to Cards Against Humanity. It was a great time. I definitely feel like it helped me. And so that's what these are for. That's what the Discord's for. And you're going to probably find a great deal more interactive stuff like that taking a skyrocket up into the clouds in terms of utilization. And guess who's here? Guess who finally decided to show up? Hi, Polly.
Hello.
How are you, dear?
Not doing so well.
You okay?
Yeah, a little vertigo, but I'm fine. Ish.
Yeah. I'll try not to move around the screen too much.
Oh, man. Since last night, I was watching some, I don't know, basic game that Eve was playing and just the movement of the camera and the screen, I had to turn it off. I was just watching what they were playing for like a couple of minutes on Discord when they were sharing their screen, and I'm like, whew, I'm turning that off. It's making me motion sick just looking at it.
Ugh. See, I would hate that. I'm one of those people that needs to not be inhibited in that sense, because my lifestyle is too active for that nonsense, because I go on boats all the time, airplanes, a lot of traveling, so I can't get head sick. Is that what it's called? Head sick? Like,
I guess. I mean, it's the vertigo is related to my ear condition, so it's only when that crops up that it's a problem. Other than that, no. I never had issues on boats or planes or anything like that. So,
see, I'm thinking that maybe that's the case, because you said motion sickness, so I automatically think, oh fuck, motion. You know,
Motrin.
Motion.
Oh! I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, what the hell's Motrin gonna do for you?
Oh, Polly.
Yes.
The people, they want to know when it is part 2's coming out of our holiday special.
Oh God, you want to revisit that journey into depravity we took?
Absolutely. I told them the next installment would probably not be for another 8 months, and then I think it was, I can't remember who it was, but someone offered to pay us money to speed up the process, and they asked how much money would speed up the process, and I said, I don't want to speak to any specific numbers regarding the process and how much would be required to speed it up, but I said, like, oh, if you wanted it this week, it'd probably cost you upwards of $800.
Do you have a busy week?
Well, consider this, right? It took us 6 months, I think, to get 5 minutes of content out the first go around. So if you want to condense all that into at least a week, it would. I'm just kidding. It would take a little bit more, right?
Actually,
no, you don't think so?
Well, no. I mean, okay, when we, because like the majority of the work took place in 3 sessions. There was the writing of the thing.
Yeah.
Right. There was the putting together of the elements that made up the video.
Yeah.
And then there was
the finding of the font.
The finding.
Sorry, up. 4 parts.
The font was. Hey, you didn't know it was Helvetica until I went and found out it was Helvetica. Okay.
Oh, yeah. How long did that take to figure out? Do you have like a font book that you have to page through and then match? Like you know, one of those color palette things at the paint store, and you're just like, nope. You flick through. Nope. That's too bright. Nope, that's too matte. Maybe too shiny. I don't know. Is that what you got?
No.
Is that what you have to do? No. Okay.
No. I wanted the font that was used for the majority of subtitles. That didn't take that long to find. It was like, I don't know, half an hour, 45 minutes going through different threads and people arguing back or forth over which font they thought it was. It's a Helvetica rounded.
Ah. There's a Helvetica non-rounded?
Yes, right. Which is just Helvetica.
Oh.
You see, it's not as round.
Oh. Nice.
Well, hold on.
Yeah.
See what's, and then there was the 3rd session, which was us doing the actual editing. I mean, all of that together.
Yeah, that took maybe a maximum of 9-10 hours ish? Question mark. I don't know.
Of that together?
I don't know. How long did it take you to find the fonts? 2 weeks?
God damn it, woman! Like 45 minutes. I said.
Oh, all right. So then I'm drastically under assessing how much. Okay, so 11 hours total.
I'm just going to the folder where I got the Stars Holiday Special. I'm just opening the Word file that I wrote. When we did the original writing, I'm curious about its creation date. Like, when is it that we actually did that? It was before Christmas, wasn't it?
It was before Christmas because we were supposed to have this out by Christmas. I'm pretty sure.
We did on Christmas Eve.
Did we really?
Yeah. December 24th.
Wow. And then you're like, yeah, I'll have it out probably by the day after Christmas Day. And I'm like, all right, cool.
Shut up.
Pear to Bear asks, did you take the font to dinner? Yeah, Polly. Treat it some waste 9 and dine action. Did I say 9 and 9? Wine and dine action. There we go. I'm very drunk. I've had 2.5 of these.
Of these what? What are you drinking? Out of your octagonal glass there?
Rum and Diet Coke. No, it's okay. So this.
Oh, holy crap! Look at that. That's cool.
Yeah, it's rum and Coke.
That's sweet.
And the glass is almost too big for my hands. But I had to get the bigger glasses because we have smaller, like Weebo-sized glasses. Because my hands are very tiny. You see, these are very, very tiny hands. I have the same problem as Donald Trump.
A tiny dick?
No, tiny hands.
Well, I thought the whole tiny hands thing was a reference to his tiny dick. Isn't that the whole blah, blah,
blah? No, I have that. I have the opposite problem in that respect. But no, I have really tiny hands. So Dad got not just the big glasses, but he got the smaller glasses too, the fun-sized, kid-sized glasses.
Oh, yeah, right.
Just because he's got some people with tiny hands in this household. Thank you for thinking of me, Dad. I love you. Shout out. But I wanted the big glass because I wanted the biggest bang for my buck and not to have to keep going back for more alcohol more frequently because I like to be able to not do that because I'm lazy, and no one else is mixing me cocktails at the moment.
God damn it.
God damn it. I don't have a cocktail guy who's just technically supposed to be called a bartender. Yeah, I don't have a bartender for that.
Well, unfortunately, our bar, I'd be the bartender, but that's, we're not there.
That's fair.
So anyway, where I was at, I wasn't just being forgetful. I was over at my parents' place for Easter dinner.
And how are your parents?
They're them.
I'm glad that they're them.
Yeah.
And not someone else.
Well, wouldn't we all be shocked if they were? And then stopped off at the pharmacy to pick up some pseudoephedrine on the way home.
Yes, drugs, all of them.
And that's why the lateness. I mean, holy shit, the line at that pharmacy plus social distancing, the line went I walk in and that's the end of the line was at the door all the way back to, because 6 feet in between each person, right?
You'd think that, was it a pharmacy that was a drive-through pharmacy? Because most pharmacies that I've been to have been had a drive-through element, right?
No, this is a CVS and it doesn't have a drive-through. And because it's pseudoephedrine, and which isn't a controlled substance, but you still got to, well, it kind of is. I forget whatever the fuck federal law falls under. You have to get it from the pharmacist because you can use it to make meth.
Yeah, you can use a lot of things to make meth.
So in any case, well, this is one of the precursors to making meth, as I understand it, not being a street chemist myself. So you have to get it from the pharmacist and show your ID, and they record how many times you're getting how much, blah, blah, blah. And so you can, that annoys me. That annoys me. Sorry. So as I'm waiting there in line, I'm like, look at the time. Weebo's waiting. Come on.
Uh-huh. I even went so far as to be like, Polly, where you at, home slice?
Yeah, I saw that when I was grabbing the link.
Yeah. Oh, hey, you want to hear something interesting?
Yes, I do.
3-4 Yoda says that you sound like Adam West 2.0.
I've heard that.
Yeah. I could see it. Or I can hear it. Oh, thank you the next 6 minutes for the donation over on the Streamlabs. Happy Easter to you and the Weebo fam. I enjoyed the Stella yesterday. Belgians make a good darn beer. I hope you had a great day, and I look forward to your new video. Y'all get some merch from this girl. Code hard weebs for the win. That is the most succinct I think I have ever read a comment from you, Sixy, without even stumbling, and I am intoxicated. So that was impressive. I'm gonna pat myself on the back right there. Yeah, go me. I'll win.
Are those triples you're drinking?
Triples?
You seem a little loaded. Tying one on?
This is my third, but they've been doubles pretty much.
Nice.
But I'm also a lightweight, so there's that. Oh, by the way, Diet Coke is shit. I don't like it. I prefer regular Coke, but we don't have regular Coke. And also, I'm trying to keep my figure.
Hence the Diet Coke.
Hence the Diet Coke.
Gotcha.
I'm sorry. I just had to do the white girl accent, as one does.
I know I do.
Mm-hmm. So, Polly, you're cooking meth. Is that what I heard?
Yes, I'm cooking meth. That's quite correct.
Oh, beautiful. I know. Times are tough, and the layoffs were very sudden. So,
well, in this time of quarantining, I got to fill my hours somehow, and
exactly.
Since we're all not working, I might as well make some street drugs.
Go you. 10 out of 10. What's the purity content of that meth? Is it like 8%?
Think I care?
I have no idea what I'm talking about.
I make low quality garbage and overprice and sell it. Shit.
Woo! Now, is it the crystalline meth or is it like the liquid type meth?
No, it's crystal.
Ah, hard rock.
Well, it crumbles and shatters. It's about if that helps.
Oof. Good to know. Good to know. I have not seen ever one episode of Breaking Bad, so I have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about, by the way.
That's fine.
I'm coming from a very layman's perspective on this.
So that fucking fifth installment of AP's Scooby series, huh?
I liked it. I especially like the line. Let me go find it because I need to do it justice, and in order to do that, I need to actually read it off. I think I sent it to AP because I was just so happy with the way that line, the delivery was great. Weebo Jones is a white woman, and she will call your manager, and I most certainly did.
And I thoroughly appreciated your posh Karen voice and reading the letter. That was probably my favorite part of the whole video. It was well done. Well done.
Mm-hmm. Okay, say what you will about the Karen entitlement, whatever, speak to your manager aspect of white women, but Karens get shit done, all right? They take it too far sometimes. And that's because there are a plethora of Karens out there. But at the end of the day, their intent is pure, I would think, right?
Well, I've said it before, and I will say it again. If we could only harness the power of the Karens, we could just, because they're unstoppable. People will do anything to get them to just stop. So it's like, we need to protect the Second Amendment. Like, if we can only get Karens on that side, oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
We have our rights secured for eternity.
I hope what AP realizes that this is definitely not the last installment of this that he's going to put out.
Oh, God. What? Because that would assume that Scoob's going to stop. I think we know that's not going to happen.
He's like, this is the episode. This is the one that will put it down. And I'm like,
yeah.
FedExed it out, man. But yeah, I like the video, although a lot of it was a repeat, in my opinion, from because I have seen the Ear Juice stream. I'm familiar. I saw it like when it happened, and that was maybe a third to 3/5 of the entire video, the Ear Juice stream. But it's not unhelpful to have a refresher. And here's the other thing too. I have it on good authority. That's what was in that video that has happened in the last 4 months? Almost, yeah, roughly 4 or 5 months. That is not everything that has transpired that I know about, because I'm pretty on the up and up.
I'm on the up and up.
There are a few people that haven't.
I got my finger on the Scooby pulse.
Exactly. Yes. Well, you keep your enemies close, right? Know what it is that the idiot that has a vendetta against you is up to. And I have an ear on that, and I always have, and I probably always will have to. Unfortunately, I'd like to be able to not, but it is what it is. But here's the thing, right? There are a number of people out there who have their own personal Scooby experiences that have never made them super public, behind the scenes wise. Like, just to give you an example, Ranting Monkey. is one of those examples. And that's part of the reason why he doesn't have a Discord anymore.
I remember that morning. That was something.
It was a whole thing. Anyway.
And, not to tell another man's story, but you're not wrong. It's like, I personally know of the people that said that this guy called me up and read out my docs to me in that sort of friendly threat way that people do things. Oh, this information, you live at 123X Nilo Street. That's you, right? It's like, yeah. How did you get my phone number? Oh, well, this information's out there, and I'm just trying to let you know that it's out there. And it's like, Jesus Christ, man, really?
Yeah.
I mean, it's so transparent. Like I said, it's Scoob has been doing that for years, and beyond people that weren't even named in AP's videos. This is a regular, ongoing tactic. This guy does that like most people fucking have dinner. It's weird.
The list of Scooby enemies out there that he has personally ensured to have made because of his actual actions and the behaviors he's engaged in is quite a bit longer than what you would gather from just an average AP video covering the topic. And that's unfortunate. It's significantly unfortunate. And I hate to be super vague, but that's, like Polly said, not our story to tell. So, yeah.
The thing that baffles me, like in what? Because like I said last week, Far and I watched all 4 parts in a row. We fucking slam watched them, and then this one coming up, or that just went by. Man, that was funny to see how many people were viewing that. What the fuck was AP doing fucking premiering it? Like, what was it? Was like 8 a.m. or 7 a.m. Like, what the fuck you doing, AP? You're off in Texas. It's like 5 a.m. for you. What the hell?
No, right? What's that about? What the frickety frick?
Well, I don't like. I got that you were there. I mean, you're a crack of dawn type of gal, but
no, I used to not be. But I was up that early because I wanted to do some work because I had what day was it? Was it Thursday or was it Friday? Or was it Wednesday? No, it was like Thursday or Friday, right?
I don't remember.
Was it Friday?
I think you just named every day of the week. Why don't we just say it was one of them? Yeah. It was one of them 7 days.
It was the later half of the week, and I remember this because I wanted to wake up because I wanted to work out, and then I realized, oh fuck, this is gonna be live. So I was actually doing my workout and responding, like I was pumping the barbell and I was responding to people in the chat. And I'm like, oh my God. It was some good entertainment because usually I listen to music, but that I made a special exception for.
The Wikipedia snippet just said what I was about to say in chat. It went on for more than 2 hours. Yeah, that was shocking because I didn't see how long it was. And then all of a sudden, when it was like halfway through, AP said in chat, yeah, and it's only halfway. And I was like, what? It's been on for a fucking hour. What's that? And I hadn't slept at that point. I was like, oh shit, look, the premiere's up in my sub box. It's like, fuck it, I'll stay up for this. But so anyway, what was standing out to me as I was watching it? Okay, well, number 1 was a little girl's birthday party, of course.
Yes, all this is because Scoob could not be on a little girl's birthday stream for longer than like 5 seconds.
Yeah, odd.
Think about that.
And
it's been almost like north of 2 years, I think.
Yeah, that's number 1. And then number 2 is this started to occur to me halfway through the 2nd episode. All right, I'm thinking, what is Scoob getting out of this? I started to try and like get into his head, and that's kind of impossible, but I'm trying to understand motivation. And by the 3rd and 4th episode, I'm like, he's not defending a successful channel where he's being attacked. He's not defending a stream that he regularly does where he makes money. He's not defending a good reputation because he has the opposite of that. Why does he keep going? And the sheer lack of effectiveness. Everybody says, fuck off, LARPer. You're not, fuck you and Mickey. et cetera, et cetera. Everyone just mocks him and he keeps going as if it has a history of being effective. These things that he does, I don't understand. Like, to me, it's like, Scoob, what? At a certain point, it's like, why keep going with this?
As someone who is aware of who Scoob is, and by the way, Père de Bear asks, who is Scoob? He's an ex-co-host of mine who has a vendetta against damn near everyone that I've ever socialized with on the internet, to the point of doxing people, to the point of threatening them to burn them alive, to gouge their eyes out, to ruin the rest of their lives. He's called a few people IRL. He sent a few people their dox information directly. He sent a few people pictures of their kids with threats against their kids. And you can wax poetic all day long that you want to about how it's not a threat, it's a warning. They're obvious threats. Everyone says so. At this point, if you're disagreeing, you are against the, everyone else. The crowd. Everyone says so. Anyway, I think part of the reason why it is that he's not giving up is because that's his personality. Right? So he, one, doesn't have anything else better to do at all, because he sits at home and he just exists for the day because he doesn't have a job, because he can't work. And so the only thing that he does have is his online persona and interactions that he has with people online. And it's either we're friends or we're enemies or I've never met you before. There is no in between at all. So if he's interacted with you and he likes you, you're going to get a stream link. You're going to get a stream link basically because he wants to talk to you. He wants to engage with you, and it's going to be over and over and over again. And that was the case when it was that we were co-hosts. If you guys are enemies, or if you're even on a little bit of bad terms, you're going to hear about it. You're going to have those chats, those interactions, those yelling sessions that are a little too volatile for my taste. And it's going to happen a lot at random. And he'll just cycle through people that he's got like a vendetta against every once in a while. And it's actually pretty cyclical too. A lot of the time I'll hear about it come around like the beginning first of the month area. It's that cyclical. I can usually predict when it is I'm going to hear about a Scooby related incident. And it's not usually directed at me. It's, well, because I have him blocked, so he can't communicate with me. And he's, to this day, the only person that I actually have that's blocked on my social media, on everything. I don't interact with him.
Like, I remember way back in the day, like when Chaos 120 was still what it was formerly, you know. Quiz streamed a lot over there.
Yeah.
You were, of course, a regular on there. I was on there just a few times.
Well, I was a host.
Yeah, and I remember Scooby came on Minions of the Zoo. I've streamed with Scooby a few times. And like, I mean, I don't understand why Scoob doesn't think back to what it was like formerly. Like, I don't know what it was like behind the scenes, but it's like you were just one of the gang, you were a streamer, and he himself turned it into something else. Do you know what I mean?
Like, I think the problem really arose when it was that we were trying to go from just a casual hangout of friends to more than that. He wanted to advertise the mother of all rallies, and that was his thing that he wanted to put in for. And I was just like,
the more thing, right?
Yeah, so I let him shill on my channel, the mother of all rallies, and I think that was what he was intending to do when it was that he went on Leaf's stream. He wanted to encourage people and make those connections and advertise. And I think the reason why it was such a contention for him was because he was essentially being shut out from doing that, and he was under the assumption that he would be able to do that because his goal was to shill, to heighten his online persona in that respect, which is fine. But when it gets to a point where it's such a thing for you that you start threatening people because you didn't get a chance to do that, that's when it goes too far. And I get being pissed about someone giving you an idea of what it is that you're going to be able to do on a stream and then kind of just pulling it back from you, like the rug out from under you all willy-nilly like, but that's not a reason to threaten to gouge someone's eyes out and freak people out and then start a war on the internet about it. Behind the scenes, though, I do remember interacting with Scooby. He wasn't a bad guy. He did talk a big game. I do remember that. And I'm not 100% sure how legit a lot of it was, because there was a lot of stuff that was just a little bit like, you're an expert in this? But, you know, there was no maliciousness there initially. Of course, when it was that people started pissing him off and these things were coming out, I was like, I'm just gonna disavow. I am not encouraging this. This is not something that I am a part of. And that was what for him did it for like our relationship. At that point, I was the enemy because I wasn't standing behind him. And I've always been this, it's your drama, not my drama type of person. I don't want to get involved. I don't want to take sides because I grew up in a household where you were expected to take sides or parents wanted you to kind of take their side. And I know that you do not choose between mommy and daddy. You do not do that. You just let them duke it out by themselves. It wasn't until it was directed at me that I did choose a side. So that's my story, guys. Yeah. So ex-co-host, it was a whole thing. Chaos 120. Okay. I only ever hosted on my channel. I didn't really make a habit of going on to other people's channels for their nights because I was a busy college student and those shows usually took place like late at night, really late. Right. And I'm a busy college student, has to go to bed, all that jazz. I think I had the Saturday slot, and I was actually on hiatus when GCV joined the team, and I came back to a new lineup. And when I came back initially, like I think I did one show coming back after hiatus, and then everything went berserk. And I was like, we are not doing another show on my channel until we get this all sorted out. And here's the thing. During the time that everything was happening, all of this was unfolding, I was getting tidbits from Irate Prostate, I was getting tidbits from Tara, I was getting tidbits from Six, I was getting tidbits from Scooby, and nothing was adding up, so I was very confused. And I started collecting screenshots so I could kind of get a timeline together because I'm a very methodical thinker in that way, and linearly it didn't make sense to me at all. It still is kind of like a kerfuffle to me because, again, a little girl's birthday. That's how this started. But at the time, I was like, all right, wait. What's going on here? Who pissed who off and why? What? And then there were Nazis involved, and it was
I wish you were kidding. It
was a whole, a kerfuffle. That's what I'm going to say. That's the best possible word to use in this situation because that's what it was. So I collect these screenshots.
The whole situation went cattywampus.
Exactly. I collect all these screenshots from individual people because I want to get their side of the story. So I have people uploaded to a Google Docs account. And so I'm like, all right, so this is what happened with these two people. This is what happened at these two people. This is what happened with these two people. And I had them all labeled and it was great. And it was specifically just so that I could figure out what was going on. And then I get a message from Scooby. And he tells me he forwarded the link to the Google Doc to an FBI agent. And at that point, I was like, I'm sorry, you did what? You fucking did what? You did, huh? You put me in the middle of this whole thing. With supposedly, I don't know how legit this was, but you put me in the middle of this drama, including a legal representative from the FBI. Okay, at the time, maybe I was a little bit more naive. I was thinking, oh, this is legit. Oh my God. But, now thinking back about it, it's probably not the super most legit thing in the world. Anyway, at the time, I was pissed because that was my Google Doc link. That was my reputation he was putting on the line. That was my credibility, my everything. Plus, I had collected screenshots from other people. And without their permission, he was sending them the link that I had to an FBI agent. Yeah. So you see why I was super pissed with him.
Yeah, things went full retard pretty fucking fast. It was just...
I was livid. I was livid with him because not only was he putting my name in the middle of everything, he was also taking other people and getting their names involved in an FBI investigation that I wasn't sure the legitimacy of, right? Because, like I said, everything was a giant kerfuffle. No one knew what was going on at all. So I was pissed. I disbanded the Google Doc thing. I took away everyone's access. I took away my access. And I was like, it no longer exists, Scoob. Sorry, but I'm not going to be party to your little gay-ass tea party here. And that was when everything started going like desperately downhill. I didn't actually block him until... I remember exactly the day that it was. It was the day of my grandfather's funeral when he messages me talking about how we have to have like a sit-down meeting or whatever, and how I was interfering with an FBI investigation. The day of my grandfather's funeral, he comes to me with this bullshit. And that's when I decided to block him.
Operation Kerfuffle, Jack says in chat. Damn it!
Yeah,
Jack, you can't read people into fucking secret operations.
The kerfuffle ops.
Yeah. This like a gay op has some odd chance of succeeding, maybe with a slight possibility. A kerfuffle op is like no chance in hell because it's involving Nazis and juggalos and alt-righters and fairies and gnomes and
oh yeah. Oh yeah. It was the gayest tea party I think I've ever had the displeasure of being invited to.
I will be back in just a hot second. I just need to grab some ice for this very warm drink. Okay.
Yeah. So, to be quite frank, you wouldn't have gotten that whole story from AP's thing. You would have only gotten the screenshots that I shared with him, because I only shared a few screenshots with him and the rest of the world, because I thought they were the only thing that was pertinent to the actual issue at hand, to give you an idea of what it is, the type of person that Scooby is. But yeah, that was my entire, well, not even the entire, but from what I remember, my experience, the reason why everything just kind of fell apart between myself and Scooby and the rest of Chaos 120. You're not going to get that in the AP story, unfortunately, because I didn't share that with him. Although I wish I had, because some of the it would have been interesting. It would be interesting, though, for AP to go through each of the individual people that he's like picked out in this lineup of gay ops, right? The gay ops kerfuffle, and interviewed them about like what they remember about the story and how it went south for them and how they pissed Scooby off. Maybe that's like the next episode, because not everyone's interactions with Scooby are presented as easily in text posts and screen caps and whatnot. I do recall there was a late night Discord meetup between myself and the rest of the Chaos 120 hosts, and I believe Atema was there, Atema the Hun. And we were talking, this was before their big fallout, before myself and Scooby's fallout. But Atema was there, and we were talking, and I was like, all right, can you set, it was maybe 3 a.m. or something, but we were having a conversation with Atema, and I was like, can you set something up between Irate Prostate, Scooby, and the other people that Scooby's, pissed the fuck off royally and who he needs to apologize to? And I went to Scooby and I said, Scooby, this is entirely inappropriate behavior, all right? I need you to apologize in order for like anything else to work from this point. That's what needs to happen first. And then you need to make a concerted effort to not be a gigantic asshole to people when they piss you off. in such a way that they feel threatened. Okay? All right, cool. So from here on out, this is what you're going to do. You are going to get on a call with these people that you've pissed off, that you've threatened. And Atema is going to attempt to mediate between people. Irate Prostate will be there to babysit, I guess. I don't remember what Irate Prostate was there for, but there was a whole thing, because it was Irate that was super concerned from the get-go. Like, before all of this went down, he was super concerned about the Nazis that they were talking to before all this shit hit the fan. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what? I come back from my hiatus and there are Nazis involved? What?
I wish you were making this up. I do. It's like, and then when the Nazis got involved, is Jesus Christ. Sorry, let me, if you don't mind me interrupting really quick. Thank you. The next 6 minutes for the donation. Happy Easter to the chillest otter I know. Helped this badass otter get his dream potato or ground apple or whatever he wants to call it. Whatever. It just doesn't matter. Just help this chill dude out. Check out Noir Bar, y'all. He has a burning stool. I do. Stewie has returned. Thank you very much, Six. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And I came in a weird time, but yeah, happy Easter to everyone. Everyone's saying happy Easter in chat, and yeah, by all means.
Yes. So back to the story that I was iterating about.
Mm-hmm.
This was, I believe, this was the conversation that I had with Scooby right before he did that sit down with Atema the Hun, Cass Warfox. Maybe Leaf was there, but Irate Prostate was definitely there, and Scooby. And this was the apology thing that he was supposed to do in the Discord before he went off on Gulf City, and basically just blacklisted them from Hollywood or whatever. If you're familiar, which is a whole separate thing.
He called his family contacts in. Oh God, which union was it?
The unions, the local union.
Yeah, he didn't name the specific unions that it was. It wasn't like the catering unions or the SAG workers or whatever. No, just unions in general, and blacklisted them right out of Hollywood. Well done.
Yeah. But I distinctively remember telling him right before he went on that sit down or whatever, Scooby, sort this motherfucking shit out, because I'm not doing jack diddly squat for you or with you unless you do anything to rectify this. And as we all know, that Discord meeting did not go well. Because it was recorded. It's in the docu-series, essentially. And I remember hearing about it that morning after from Irate Prostate. He said, Scooby has just threatened Gulf City. And I'm like, what the fuck? How did that happen? What transpired? And I'm getting this all like secondhand from different parties. And I'm like, Scooby, what the fuck? Scooby, what is going on here? What happened? And I don't actually think I got a legitimate explanation for what happened. But yeah, for even someone who was directly involved, I was very much a sideline character. But hopefully my part in this saga is over now. And I don't want to say hopefully he terrifies other people instead of me, but like, I'm kind of glad that the attention has been shifted away from me. Maybe? Question mark. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be likely. I think I'm going to get some backlash for it. But you know what? I'm glad that I did it. Because it was fun for me. And it's old news. Like, that email is very old. At least a year, I'm pretty sure. At least. Anyway.
Wow.
So much. This is...
I think AP named it perfectly. The saga of... Yeah, because it's not just a story. It's a multi-part saga. It needs intermissions. And
it does. It really does. And I think
a playbill wouldn't hurt.
Block of time.
Would it have really been so bad if AP had included like a playbill that had the cast of characters explaining everyone? I mean, because you could do a fucking flow chart with that shit.
You could. You really could. Well, the previous episode, I think it was 4, he did come out with like the different character associations. So I think I was I Leia or was I Padme? I think Leaf was Padme.
Padme was Leaf.
Leaf was Padme and I was Leia. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. What's his name's particularly noticeable laugh was getting on my nerves until AP made him R2D2, jumping up and down and shaking every time he was laughing.
Yeah.
Then it became really funny. It's great how animation could do that. Listening to that guy laugh with that pitch that he has, or whatever the fuck, and then all of a sudden to see R2D2 with the blonde hair laughing, Jesus Christ, it was fucking killing me.
The part that just really, I don't know, just pulled me out of the realism, the aspect of realism. The part that was just like a mind boggle for me, although there are several parts that are like that, but the biggest mind boggle for me was when Scooby started threatening Geek Thulu and Andy Worski for no reason, for absolutely no discernible reason that I could think of logically. That was what happened. And I'm just like, oh gosh, am I tangentially like connected to Andy Worski and Geek Thulu now? Not just through my connection through the being on the show that one time, but through a Scooby connection? Oh god, no. I don't want to go to that high school reunion.
I remember when it came up to the part of, all right, so far as like, let's watch this 27-part documentary on Chris Chan.
There's 27 parts to the Chris Chan saga?
27 parts to this one guy's documentary on Chris Chan, yes. It starts with, frighteningly, he is possibly the most well-documented person to ever live. I'm not certain if that's true, but it's very likely that it's possible that it's true. I mean, in terms of like assignments he submitted in the 6th grade, because it's Chris Chan himself putting all that material online. He puts it out there and then it's documented. There's an entire wiki for him, the quickie. It's a Wikipedia that's nothing but Chris Chan material. And anyway, as it's going along, like I am feeling ever more normal watching this Chris Chan documentary, but then it starts to change, and I begin feeling ever more bland. Like this, you know what I mean? And I had the same feeling while they were listing off the things that were in Scooby's Amazon wish list. I'm thinking of what's in my Amazon wish list, and I'm like, it's like books and those church warden pipes that I was looking at because I'd like one of those, and that fancy Zippo lighter. You start to feel a little normie listen to all this, and it's like, you know what? I don't know. I'd rather be vanilla plain than ordering 4-foot gummy dildos and shit.
Yeah, okay, all right. Here, I have a number of Amazon wish lists, but I have my default list. All right, let's just say default list. I have a pair of shoes, a t-shirt, a bralette, a control halter swimwear bathing suit. I have some adjustable underwear bra strap replacement shoulder straps. I have metallic marker pens. I have a Blue Yeti case. I have a Blue Yeti arm mic thing. I have another Blue Yeti because I really want to get 2 of those. Mm-hmm. I have a fedora hat.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I have D&D role-playing dice, and I have 2 different versions of the Guy Fieri flame shirts.
Right. Yeah.
Button-up ones.
Oh, yeah, I've got some clothes in there too. There's some different shirts that I thought were funny. I've got some gaming shit in there too. There's a bunch of Black Powder Revolutionary War stuff that I've been looking at from Warlord Games, and
exactly.
But all, I mean, Weebs, I don't know if you know it, but that's a pretty normie list. I mean, you don't have underwear with a dick slot in it. You don't have oh god, I can't even remember all the fucking filth that was up in that wish list.
2 50-gallon drums of lube.
2 50-gallon drums of lube.
I want them because I want the drums. Just buy freaking drums then.
So when we're watching this, Far's like, what's he talking about? Because this whole DJ thing, and if you never heard of it or know anybody who did it or did it yourself, turntables, you're gonna put them into what's called a coffin, which is just a big case that contains both your turntables and your mixer in the middle, and then you need to set it on something because it's a big wide rectangular box. It's kind of heavy. It's like, yeah, you can totally put it on drums, or you could go down your local hardware store and buy $15 worth of 2x4s and make it yourself.
No, no, Polly, Scooby wasn't
Like make
for
like
the
a little
aesthetic.
basic table.
All right, and I said this in the comment section too, right? Not once in the months that it was that we were stream buddies, that we were on KS 120, did I ever hear Scooby once mention anything about him moonlighting as a DJ or even being interested in it. The anthropology stuff, the reporter stuff, sure. Not once did I ever hear him talk about DJ nonsense. Just saying. All right.
And that's what kills me. Like Parody Bear says, lube has many uses. Like, it's
Okay.
not that he was just buying fucking canola oil or regular lubricant. It was sex lube specifically. 2 50-gallon drums.
Just for the drums. You can buy the drums by themselves without the lube in it.
Like just regular plastic drums. Yeah, absolutely. And they'd probably be a lot cheaper to ship if they were empty. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Exactly.
He was an undercover DJ, Jackson. He was infiltrating the world of club hip hop, and
it wasn't just
well,
though.
He did claim to be a graduate of Jam Master Jay's Scratch Academy.
Is that? Would you put that on your CV, Polly?
Not my academic CV, but what's sad about that? I mean, Jam Master Jay, DJ for Run DMC, for those who don't know. I mean, the man's a fucking legend, and like his Scratch Academy's like, yeah, you're actually going to learn how to do some serious shit there. But it's an odd claim, extremely odd claim. Like my eyebrows just crunched up. I was like, you said what? I thought you were a journalist that focused on sociology.
No, anthropology.
Anthropology, excuse me.
Yeah, no, he was a journalist with a focus on anthropology. That I was aware of. Not the DJ Academy stuff. It's
such an odd claim. It would be like, I don't know, claiming to be a graduate of Cordon Bleu. You know, like, just wait, what? Like, it's just so out of left field.
Yeah, no, okay, that would be like me putting it out there that, oh, yeah, by the way, in addition to all of my other cool stuff that I used to do, like, you know, police exploring and the fact that I'm a computer science and psychology major, oh, I used to be a radio DJ too, which I did. But I don't talk about it because it was for a semester 3 years ago. And I wasn't good at it. And they didn't have good music because, for whatever reason, copyright shit. Licensing nonsense. But yeah.
Well, yes, Weebs is a Fed, and Fox
totally.
Toxic. Quit outing her.
All right, you want to hear what's on my alternate wish list? Okay. So starting from the bottom, going up to the top, I have Omaha Steaks birthday celebration combo. It's got a 20-piece it's like a 20-piece package that they send you in the mail, complete with like filet mignons, top sirloins, boneless chicken breasts, steak burgers, jumbo franks, and stuffed baked potatoes, which it's obvious why you would put that on your wish list, right? Like, oh, yeah. Yeah. I have a Fairwear snood, which is basically like a hairnet, but in hat form, like a hairnet hat thing. Like one of those artist hat thingies.
Yeah.
It's what women used to wear back in the ye old days. I have a Commando Talon survival spear. I had that in 2018. Wow. I have a mug that says "Eat a bag of dicks."
Nice.
I have not one.
Actually, I do have because we did our unsheathed stream, right? I do have a bunch of knives on there as well.
Yeah.
Because some of them were available for discounts and so forth. And you know how your wish list will track when the price drops? And then,
yes.
Oh, yeah, hard drives and shit, like external hard drives. I got a bunch of that. But it's like, I mean, that's all very normy compared to dick slot underwear, which I still don't understand. Why do you need jockey shorts with a slot for a dick? I don't get it.
I don't know, Polly.
I mean, jockey shorts will keep your boys together on their own. Why do you need I just don't understand. I
don't know. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm All Potato asked for the link to the Chris Chan documentary, and I'm going to post the link to part 1 in the chat. But this comes along with a warning. It's not a fun time watch. It is a long slog. Like you've been warned. It gets depressing.
Part 1 is 40 minutes.
Yeah, and there's 27 parts so far. It's ongoing still. I mean, parts like 10 through 25 are just 2009.
What the fuck?
There's that much material, that much happened to him, and like that's when the trolling of him really started up big. And oh man, like it takes to like part 5 before you start hearing about part 4 or 5 before you start hearing about Sonichu, his comic.
Yeah. Oh,
and the character
I'm familiar.
Okay,
I know that much about Chan. Chris Chan. Oh my god.
Yeah, and Quiz is in chat, and he's like, don't let Polydub warn you. He, Far, and I watched most of it together, and we had a blast through a lot. You guys had a blast. I got steadily more and more depressed, man. Oh god.
Oh, Jesus. Speaking of things that shouldn't be enjoyable except with friends and drunk, would you like to watch Cats this week?
Like Cats, the Broadway Cats?
No, like the film about the Broadway musical Cats. Like the film that they just came out with. Not the butthole cut.
The butthole cut. I think that calls for an explanation.
Okay, so rumor has it that there is a cut of the movie Cats when they decided it was probably best to edit out the buttholes from the cats. Because initially the cats had buttholes. And then someone high up decided, no, we do not want buttholes on our cats. So there is, rumor has it, a butthole edit of the movie Cats out there. And thank you to Pink Hollow, the Driving Ape Men, for the donation. If Paris Hilton can claim to be a DJ, anyone can. Yes. So, yeah, the butthole
What
edit.
year is this from?
I think this year? Within the
really?
last 9 months. Like, it came out
okay.
fairly recently.
All right. Oh, wait a minute. You're talking about like the brand new Cats that came out that was a complete disaster and flopped with all the oh god, you want to watch that?
I do. I want to do a review for it. And someone suggested I watch it with you. Not as like the film that I want to watch with you for our next like discussion-y type thing, but like just for funsies.
Just for funsies. Yeah. I'll tell you like I tell most people. It's like, okay, you can watch it, but you're gonna have to put up with my running commentary.
Oh, that's not a problem. We can talk about this after. I just wanted to like run it by you a little bit.
Is it what's her name in that? The Princess of Pretension there?
Judi Dench.
No, not Judi Dench. Microwave feminist in 5 minutes there. What's her name?
The woman that you hate with a burning
Taylor
passion.
Swift.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
I think of her as the Princess of Pretension, but I thought she was in it.
Maybe? Hang on. Let's see the cast of cats. I know Judi Dench is in that movie. Yeah. That's about all that I know.
Yeah, I got Jack and Lion Patriots and Taylor Swift. Maybe that's...
Okay, let's see. We have Robbie Fairchild, Met Towley, Danielle Norum. Oh god, I just threw up in my mouth a little bit. Sorry. This is what it feels like when I'm just reading the IMDb page. Imagine.
Same thing, Angela. Hey, Angela says,
Idris Elba is in this movie. Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
See, Idris Elba, I can like that movie strikes me as exactly the kind of thing that Taylor Swift would have not only been in, but would have like sent her publicist and talent agent fighting to get her in.
Yeah.
Like, I'm talented, okay? I can like sing and act and dance and give everyone my political opinions. Of course I should be in movies and I should be on Broadway. Oh my god. She's like,
Well, no, it didn't ever actually go on
white
Broadway.
Beyonce. If Beyonce wasn't already bleaching her skin to the point where she's.
I will be right back. I have to go to the little girl's room.
All right.
I just realized that. All right.
All right.
Entertain the people, Polly. I believe in you.
No promises. Okay, let me tell you something. I'm talking to Eve the other day, and I said I wanted to watch this is chaos. Even I want to watch an Easter movie because it's Easter, obviously. And like, do you want to watch Passion of the Christ? And right, like Far's like, no, I want no parts of that movie. No, there's no way I want to see that movie. Too gory, too gory. And I said, okay, why don't we watch the 10 Commandments? Like Charlton Heston, Cecil B. DeMille's classic. It's huge, cast of hundreds, pageantry, color. It's massive. And Eve, she's like, I don't know. I think I'd rather watch Passion of the Christ. And I was like, ouch. That's cold. That's cold. When somebody would rather see the blood and gore and hard emotional run that Passion of the Christ is over watching. She's like, it's just so long. I'm like, I don't know. It's like 3.5 hours. People sat through The Last Jedi and that ran like 3 hours. People sat through fucking Dark Knight Rises, which was virtually 3 hours. No, every time I bring up Dark Knight Rises, I get frustrated over again. It bugs me how people think that movie was good. It wasn't. It's anything Christopher Nolan. People like automatically, it's genius. No, it was way too long. No, you had fucking Christian Bale. You should have asked him to drop that "Hey, I'm the Batman" bullshit from fucking the get-go. The whole thing with the police detective, the junior detective who found out that Batman was Bruce Wayne, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt played the character. It's supposed to be hinting that he's Robin. I'm Dick Grayson. What
about Dick Grayson, the love of my life?
What?
Who? No, about Dick Grayson, the love of my life?
I just started complaining about fucking Dark Knight Rises because I was saying I wanted to watch an Easter movie with Eve, and I was like, we should watch like Passion of the Christ or the 10 Commandments. And she's like, I think I'd rather see Passion of the Christ. And I found that funny that she'd rather watch that over 10 Commandments. The full reason being it's too damn long. And then I think of some of the movies that people are willing to sit through and don't have any complaints about the length, and they're awful. And they're just as long as 10 Commandments.
How long is 10 Commandments? Just curious.
I'm going to say 3 hours, maybe a little bit over.
Not bad.
I'd have to look it up. I'm sure somebody in chat knows right away.
Wait. Angela says, Weebo, you do realize that Cats was the longest running show on Broadway ever. That's why they decided to make it a movie. I hated the play, so I wasn't surprised the movie sucked. How long was it? Like, how long is a really long Broadway show? Is it like upwards of 3 hours?
Good question.
Just curious. Also, what's 6 hours? What did I miss?
Yeah, what is 6 fucking hours, Pinkala?
I'm curious. Ooh, you know what would be a great thing
10 Commandments isn't 6 hours. I mean, and I know it's got a long intermission with an overture and every fucking thing, but it's not 6 hours, is it?
I don't know. 10 Commandments is 3 hours.
And you get all that Egyptian stuff with the building of the pyramids and all that. It's except for the brutal enslavement of the Hebrews, it's cool to watch.
It was on Broadway for the longest amount of time, not it was the longest show ever. See, no, wait, hang on. I have been to a Broadway show before. That's right. I went to New York one time and I did that for a few things. I did that with Boyfriend, actually. We went to go see 2 Broadway shows.
Okay, according to Michael Hatfield, it's 3 hours and 40 minutes. See, that's fine. That probably includes the interlude with the such. Remember old time Hollywood when they used to do that? Have show the red curtain and there would be the orchestra.
No, I don't remember that because I'm only 22, Polly.
Yeah, I don't remember it either. That movie was made, I think, before my dad was born. But the point is, you got to watch more old movies, Weebs.
I know. I watched I watched a Michael Douglas film. Is it Michael Douglas? Younger Douglas.
Oh yeah, Michael. Yeah.
All right. It was a movie, and then it was a sequel to that movie. And I can't remember what it was, but it was about An author, a female romance novelist.
Oh my God. You've got to be kidding me. With Sharon Stone?
Yes! I don't know why, but I love both of those movies. I love the first movie more than I like the second one.
It's so corny.
I know! That's why I love it! What is it? Romancing the Stones or something? Yes.
No. Romancing the Stone is a totally different film. It's got no snatch on camera.
Wait. Yeah, no, I'm talking about Romancing the Stone, not which one did you think I was talking about?
Well, I said the one with Sharon Stone, and you said, yeah, that's not Sharon Stone.
I heard the word Stone, and I'm like, oh, Stone. Yes, that movie. No. Romancing the Stone. That's the one that I watched. Not whatever Sharon Stone nonsense. Okay. No, I did not watch that one. I like this movie a lot. And I watched it with my dad.
The part when I said there's no snatch on camera. I mean, Basic Instinct, the film that I'm talking about. Yeah, Sharon Stone.
Oh.
Infamously so edgy, uncrosses her legs and the camera zoomed right up her skirt.
Interesting. All right. Mm-hmm. So, it's going on my bucket list of films, I guess. Just because I'm curious now. What kind of is it? What is it rated?
What?
The film that you're talking about.
Basic Instinct? Oh, R. Oh, there's all sorts of nudity and sex. And
that film, the one where she's sitting and doing the leg crossy thingy. Yeah, I've heard of this one. Yes, okay, that is on my bucket list already. Okay, cool.
No, don't rush to see that. It's so corny. It's she's a murder mystery novelist, and then she's suspected of murdering somebody in the same way that she wrote that somebody was murdered in her novel, which gives her the perfect cover, because I'd be pretty stupid to murder somebody in the exact same way that I wrote it, wouldn't I?
Polly, don't be ignorant. That's how all the best movies are made.
That whole movie is about just stupid titillation. It's supposed to be a psychological thriller, and it's retarded. I mean, I realize I'm kind of just being a little bit pissy about it, but fuck, I don't know. I hear people move. That movie's so sexy. I'm like, no, it's not. It's really not.
Angela says it's a horrible film, which makes me want to watch it more. I don't think you understand how this works. Weebo likes crappy filmography because she likes to make fun of it. All right? I am, Polly, back me up here. I am a judgy bitch.
Well, yes, you are. But see, what I don't understand is you claim that you like bad cinema, and then you go see like these A-list cinemas. Why weren't you around for Suburban Sasquatch? Why weren't you around for Born into Mafia? These are bad, like actually bad films.
The Last Vampire on Earth. Maybe because
we watch actually bad movies. Movies like direct to DVD that you find at your local car wash in the dollar bin.
Well, you have to tell me that these exist in order for me to actually watch them. Okay. All right.
Joe Lander asks, so other than Casablanca, what movies does Polly like? Oh, lots of different things, man. Lots and lots. I'm certainly not
so did you
a guy who hates all film. It's just who wants to hear you list off films you love?
Did you like it?
What?
The one that I was talking about that you thought I wasn't talking about, Romancing the Stone. Did you? No. Did you watch that movie? And did you?
Oh, Romancing the Stone? Yeah, I didn't. I guess I didn't dislike it. I guess you'd call it a popcorn movie. Like by the time it was done, it was like, well, I guess I wouldn't call that a waste of 2 hours of my life. I'm glad I had popcorn.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
I mean, it didn't really make like a great impact on me. It was just sort of like an 80s adventure, mild adventure film.
Yeah. It was unique given what it is that I've been inundated with in the last couple of years, cinematically speaking. Because I feel like
cinematographically speaking, is that what you were going to say?
Yeah. Like, I feel like I keep getting the same movie released to me over and over and over again. Because everything is either a remake, a sequel, a franchise, or some mashup of all of three of those things, you know?
I mean, I don't know. To answer Joe Lander's question, I don't know. Random movies that have no particular genre or order or anything. The Town from 2010 is fucking fantastic. Argo is pretty fucking great. The Third Man, which is a noir film if you've never seen it. Oh, Maltese Falcon and The Big Sleep, both Bogart films. I'm a huge fan of. I'd be remiss if I didn't throw a Star Trek film in there. The best one is Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan, but my favorite one is Star Trek VI: The Undiscovered Country.
I have the hiccups. I'm so
Oh
sorry.
shit! The list goes on and on. The Departed, I think, is the best film of the last 20 years.
The Departed was really good, and my dad has seen it, and we were talking about it, and we said, well, to my brother, we said, you have to watch this film. You would love it. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you'll.
I'm glad you liked it when we watched it together. I'm really glad you liked it.
I'm pushing it onto people that I know IRL, so it needs to get the recognition it deserves.
Yeah, it's great because there's who's the protagonist? There isn't really one. It's an ensemble film, if you know what I mean. And it's got Jack Nicholson. I mean, just hell yeah, in one of his final roles, so you get to see him just rock it hard one last time, which is fantastic.
Yep. I would like to ask you about a film that I have just rewatched recently with my father in quarantine. And I know that it has comic book roots to it. But are you familiar with The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Thoughts? Wait, the film or the comic book?
What's that?
Which are you familiar with, the film or the comic book?
The film.
Okay.
I'm aware of the comic book. I think I read it one time, but I might as well say that I haven't because my memory's so vague of it. So film. I don't know. I liked it. I thought it was good, but I walked away from it thinking this could have been a lot better, and I'm not sure what the mistakes that were made were, that it didn't live up to my taste.
Well, it was.
I can understand somebody really liking it, but I didn't really like it. I just thought, oh, that was good.
I thought it was a good. There was a good setup to it. It could have been great if they had followed through with the greatness aspect, but I feel like they got lost in the plot somewhere along the way. They wanted it to be more of a twisty-turny plot twist type thing than it actually was. And so it started out in a direction that it didn't eventually end up in, and that was the jarring aspect of it. I think if they had fixed that, they would have sincerely delivered a movie that was good. Or better than it was. It wasn't a horrible movie.
I'm seeing a lot of similarities in chat, like with what we're saying generally. Like, it could have been better. Angela says this is bad film that could have been amazing. Joe Lander says it was too compressed. Damn right.
Yes.
Too much was wedged in there. I hear you.
Like, we got a lot of backstory.
It wanted to be The Watchmen. Number one nowhere says, yeah, it did. It wanted to be like grand and epic and so forth. And beyond a comic book movie, not be like corny, but be like make a serious impression on you, to be dramatic in it. I don't know. It fell short of that.
Thank you, Pink All of the Driving Ape Men, for the donation. Look up The Way of the Vampire C-rated DVD. I will attempt to remember to do that. I have to remember a lot of things, and I'm also a little bit intoxicated, so I will attempt to remember. But yeah, The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, it could have been a great movie. Had it been drawn out a little bit better, fleshed out a little bit better, if the characters had gotten the amount of time that they deserved in order to actually be fleshed out as characters. Because there were a lot of promising characters. Absolutely. But they were not given the opportunity that they deserved. Unfortunately.
I've missed a bunch of comments people have made in chat. Apologies for that. Like 6 is like, show Weebo Time Bandits. Ouch. Yeah, you want to talk about a B film. Ryan Walters is not to be confused with The Deported. It's a foreign film.
Funny.
I thought that was very good. That was a good fun. Quiz says it didn't want to be The Watchmen. Watchmen came out in 2009. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen came out in 2003. Well, no, don't be pedantic, Quiz. It wanted to be of that grand and epic thing. Like, like Watchmen fans say The Watchmen, the movie, is the film fans thought that they would never get, but did. I find it, my thoughts on Alan Moore, the writer of the original graphic novel. I think he's pretty overrated. Watchmen is good. The graphic novel is very, very good, and it deserves the status it has, in my opinion. The movie is just kind of like beyond the blue schlong. It's, I don't know.
I don't remember liking Watchmen that much.
Did you like the blue schlong?
No, not really.
No.
I don't know what it was about Watchmen. Like, because...
Do women like seeing full frontal in movies? No.
Okay, I'm going to let you in on a little secret.
All right.
Women are not visual creatures. And that's probably because of the fact that the male bits are not super visually attractive to us. Maybe. I don't know. But they aren't. Sorry.
Well, see, now what I've heard from girls, especially ex-girlfriends, are like, it's the bulge is attractive.
Yes.
Bouncing hanging bits in full view are not.
No.
Because there's nothing left to the imagination at that point when it's bouncing off the eyes. But you know, if a man who's all shredded is in Speedos and he's bulging, that's really attractive. That's what.
Okay.
Would you agree with that?
Up there, I do not like a man in a Speedo.
Really? Why?
I don't know. It just.
So you are attracted to the male form, though. You're right.
Yes.
Okay.
The issue, I think.
Just check it. It sounds like you're pretty grossed out by the whole idea of the male forms.
Oh no! Strictly dickly all the way. But like, I think that the tighty whitey aspect, the Speedo aspect of male dress is unfashionable, to put it nicely. It looks like you're trying to squeeze the life out of the rest of the person in that one area.
But
also,
I thought you were all about the Dick Grayson butt.
And notice that Dick Grayson's Nightwing costume does not have a Speedo attachment to it. Thank you very much.
Okay, so then
Yes.
just to be clear, if a man who's like fit was fit and bulging, but in like, you know, like the painted on superhero costume where it's like that's hot and attractive.
Yes.
Okay.
You just can't have your underwear on the outside, all right?
Got it.
It looks silly. It looks ridiculous. I cannot take you seriously as a man.
Victorian strong man look, underwear on the outside.
Nope. None of that. Weebo's is strictly a boxer's type of gal. Right?
All right.
Now we know.
I've heard a lot of women say the combination jockey shorts, underwear, whatever they're fucking called. I've never worn them.
You mean compression shorts?
Maybe.
Are they the ones that cling?
Yeah, they're like tight boxers. They're like someone in chat's gonna name them. I can't remember what. When I think compression shorts, I think of like bicycle shorts. Is that what we're talking about?
Well, okay, so that's what I refer to them as. They are a little bit more clingy, form-fitting. I'm okay with that. I am okay with those because I don't know. It doesn't look as silly as the.
Oh yeah, boxer briefs. There we go. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, there we go.
I've never worn those. I'm a straight boxer man. I got a free ball.
It doesn't look as ridiculous to me. Those, like, if they surpass the crevice of the hip, or not the hip,
surpass the crevice of the hip.
The crevice of the legs.
So anatomical. Okay, all right.
If it surpasses the crevice of the legs, we're good. All right.
All right. So what we've come to find out is that Weebo is rather disgusted by the male form, except for fictional buttocks. All the things we learn on Cocktail Hour. And see, you know what? I this whole statement, women are not visual creatures. Denied. Okay. I made fun of you last night in a conversation over in Discord.
Oh, thanks. But also, yes, tell me more about how you made fun of me.
You were the butt of the joke. We were talking about, I forget what. You know, Samuel? Frenchman who sounds British.
Yes.
You know? Yes. Eve, Sam, and myself were there, and we were talking. I forget how we got onto it, but I started making fun of Sam for defending doilies as being a complete, because like I'm like, doilies are a complete waste of fucking time. I can't stand a fucking doily. Like, why not? Because, well, it's to protect the surface of the table if it's wood or glass, whatever. I'm like, that's what a fucking coaster's for. Why has it got to be fucking lace? It's just, I can't stand decorative without function. Let me tell you something. So Weebo was talking about, and this is where I started to make fun of you. So here's the part where you're involved.
Yes.
I go, she's like, oh, well, I think I'm like a woman, or my female instincts are kicking in because my nesting is starting, where I'm starting to buy stuff. I'm beginning to nest. And everything that she listed that she was buying was all non-functional girly stuff. It was all
what
like,
did I mention? What was I talking about?
I don't remember specifically. I just remember a bunch of things that couldn't be used for stuff. They were they serve no function. And then I kept getting told, no, listen, the function is that they're pretty. They look nice. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, did you buy like a coffee or tea set or some shit?
I said I want a tea set. Just because I like the idea of the tea set, and holding tea parties.
This is so early. No, listen, I get it. Like, this is
that has a function, though, Polly.
Why you were brought up as the quintessential example is because, well, chat, look behind Weebs. Okay, she's got like a princess bed with an awning and decorative pillows and stuffed animals and pretty colors, and like I said on another stream, she has the girliest room I have ever seen in my life.
Excuse. All right, all of this is hand-me-downs were given to me. None of this was actually bought by myself. If I had my way,
I'm not exactly
sleeping in a hammock.
Like, I'm not telling anybody, not to do this. I'm just saying I failed to be able to wrap my mind around the draw to it, is what I'm saying. Like, when I'm looking around the room I'm in right now, right? And it's like,
yeah,
there's a bookshelf over there, and it's got books, and they're for reading. And then I've got, like, everything's very functional. Like, it does something. The only thing that I have that's decorative is, like, I have 4 things on my walls in my entire house. I've got a mirror, a framed copy of the Declaration of Independence, and both my degrees.
That's it. Baby pictures. I have I have my own baby pictures on my wall. Suck it up. I have posters from movies. I have a map of the world. I have my black belt certification framed and hanging. Right. I have when I had students, I had drawings from students that they gave me. I have the best piece of color pencil art I have ever drawn. And then I have this papyrus thing.
Oh, nice.
From when I went to visit Greece. It's Artemis and her hunters and all that jazz. Oh, and then I have some postcards from Egypt. So, I mean, like, they're meaningful to me. They're not super decorative-y just because I like the aesthetic of it, but they're meaningful to me. Actually, my room is not the most aesthetic thing in the world. I'm not gonna lie. None of this goes with itself. This is a hodgepodge of things that I've collected over my 22 years.
Let me tell you something about the degrees I had. My mom comes over one time, and she says, "Why haven't you put up your degrees? Where are they?" And I'm like, "They're over there." And I pointed at the bookshelf because they were in between a couple of books. Like, they're just there. And it was like, I don't know, maybe a week later, I got 2 degree frames in the mail. Like, see, like, now.
I'm trying to tell you something.
Yeah. And then I remember my mom, like, a month later, asked, "Is like, did you frame those and put them up?" I'm like, "Yes, mother." Right.
Well, yeah, you should put them on display because they're an achievement for you. Like, I have my violin trophies up there. Yeah. And then that time that I played for my grandfather's funeral, my ballet trophies, because I was also a ballerina for a little bit. My basketball trophy from the 1 year that I participated.
Brad Young says, "Mars and Venus, Polly. Mars and Venus."
Okay. So back to what you said about women not being visual creatures. I meant that specifically to do with genitalia. Specifically. That was the only thing that I was talking about. Every other aspect, women are all about the aesthetics. And yes, I am also guilty about the aesthetic look about things. When I furnish my house, it will be strictly dark wood furniture and some leather armchairs. All right.
Okay, and
It's
that,
gonna
and you
match.
brought it around to the point that I was ultimately making. I always hear this: women are not visual creatures, but that statement is always made in reference to why don't women look at porn? Why don't etc. And I'm like, but women are extremely visual creatures. They will fill their houses with doilies and tea sets and fucking cozies and all sorts of other shit that isn't necessary. Throw pillows and like I said last night, the most non-functional waste of time item that can exist in a house, in my opinion, the bed skirt.
I'm only laughing because I did used to have a bed skirt, but that was when, okay, I'm going to defend myself. That was when I had a plethora of things hiding under my bed that I just wanted to keep out of sight. Because
fair enough.
There was a lot of stuff. There's still a lot of stuff down there. Like if you look under my bed right now, you will see 3 bins full of hats, costumes for the YouTube channel, and then like materials for the YouTube. So lights and whatnot, the things that I don't have on display because they're big and bulky and I like to put them away for when I'm not using them. I think I have a mini sewing kit down there. I have my... No, I got rid of that. Or maybe I didn't. I think I have an art easel down there too that I have barely ever used.
Pete asked the correct question here. The fuck is a bed skirt? See, good. Don't worry. It's you that's the correct answer.
I will show you what a bed skirt is. All right, it's that thing that they have at hotels to hide the hooker dead bodies.
Well, that was actually the advocates got there ahead of you. Bed skirts are to hide the dead hookers.
Oh, did he? Yeah, it's this thing. Also, this bed skirt does not have split corners because that's super important. It's this thing. It's this thing. This thing right here. It's just something to make things look a little bit more put together. All right. That's it. That's really it.
Now, I like the way that like what Angela said here and the way that she said it. Notice that most of those things are comfortable, comforting, feel good, and have to do with hospitality or propriety. That's a fair point. But I think that a number of those things that are largely for aesthetical considerations deviate from the point that you just made. Like so I'm over at a lady friend's house and I sit down on her couch, which you could have been convinced was a painted block of concrete. It was so hard. I couldn't believe it. I sat down on it and she's like, and I went boof, and I didn't sink into it at all. Those weren't cushions.
You just hit it like it was a brick wall.
Well, they were like bags of cement, man.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. And I'm like, how the fuck could somebody like lay down on this and catch a quick nap or watch a movie? It's so stiff. And of course, it had those completely useless throw pillows that are just there that, you know, they're so small you feel like you're trying to rest your head on a bag of sugar. Like it... packet of sugar. I mean, I don't know. And I did ask her about it. I said, "Oh, how long have you had this couch?" She's like, "It's great. It matches the accents in the room, doesn't it?" Her words. It matches the accents in the room. And it did. It absolutely did. But it was uncomfortable as fuck. And clearly this person had selected this couch, not because it was something that was comfortable, as Angela mentions, but because it picked up the puce or whatever, you know?
See, I get the idea of having things bring themselves together in terms of aesthetics. But the deciding factor for me will always be the level of comfort I find in a piece of furniture. So, I mean, it could be the most aesthetically pleasing thing on the face of the planet, but if I don't feel comfortable sitting on that chair, it's not going to enter my household. So, but
Unholy Reaper here makes the point, right? He says,
yes.
I still live like I'm in the military. Minimalist. Only things I have that I really need are a reloading station. Oh man, you should see my reloading bench. I'm pretty goddamn proud of it. It's got the single stage and the progressive press, both attached right there at the edge. I've got all of my calipers and tools and so forth within arm's reach. Everything's nice and organized. So but it's extremely functional Weebo. That's the notice the thing that I get excited talking about is where the tools are at. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I will say this. I do have entirely too much stuff for the size of the space that I'm occupying. I have, which is why half of my shit is in the attic right now. Like, I have not enough room for the books on my shelf.
See, Memes of Destruction says, I like naps. Damn right. So do I.
Yeah.
To lay down in bed for a nap is not the best idea, because if you have clinical insomnia like I do, you might end up catching a 3-hour nap when you intended 20 minutes of sleepy time. You know. I guess I'm really into the comfortable couch. That's why that idea. And at 6'2", don't consider your 2-cushion love seat a couch. It's not. It's like, if I can't stretch out on it without having my fucking feet go up on the arm on the far side, it's not a couch in my opinion. I'd love one of those sectional badasses that go in the corner. You know, the 90-degree deals?
Oh, yeah. My mom's got one of those.
Oh, man. Those things are slick. I mean, fuck yeah. Like, I don't want something I'm going to sink into like a marshmallow, but I want something that's comfortable enough that I want a nap. And you're like, ooh, cool. I'm going to go lay down on the couch. Like, that's pretty awesome. A lot of the furniture
that I'm going to probably get is going to be hand-me-down furniture. So I'm not going to get a choice in aesthetics. It's just going to be like, all right, so which of the basement couches do you find the most appealing to you? You want the corner one, or do you want the 2 set with the green stuff that feels like a brick? And I'm going to go for the corner. Or I'll take the leather recliners.
Inquisitor says, if I want to pick up my puce, I have to get a mop. Fuck off. And yes, the firearms that I have don't tie together the room because they're in a locked cabinet, except for the one loaded one that's not in the locked cabinet.
Ooh.
Because, I mean, that's the thing about semi-automatic carbines. You never know when you're going to need one, so it's best to just keep one around. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. I want to address this comment from Angela.
Sure.
Who said that you realize that nesting is a stage of pregnancy, right? Generally 2 weeks to a month before giving birth. It got so bad for me, I sent myself into labor moving dressers and kids' beds.
Okay, I read that. That was great.
I am aware that that's what nesting is traditionally referred to, but it fits in this case because I am nesting. I am preparing a home for myself and boyfriendo when I move out.
I'm sure he will really appreciate the tea set.
Shut the fuck up.
I noticed that. Speaking of that,
set.
See, chat's awesome. They got all these great comments I keep missing. We mentioned the tea set again. I noticed a Pop-Tart pops up and says, "My tea set serves 16." Like, do you see what I mean? It's like,
say what you will about my tea set, but I intend to entertain with my tea set, not just the teddy bears.
Who is it that said Polly needs a lazy boy? Brad Young. Polly needs a lazy boy. They're nice. Okay, I saw a chair that I did not know existed like a year ago. It's a lazy boy recliner that goes back, but it goes wham, perfectly horizontal. So it turns it basically into a cot. So it's like it folds out and it all becomes one big long thing. And it's like, man, I need one of those in my office. Keep a comforter and a pillow in the closet that's there. I got a fucking bed, but everybody thinks it's a chair. You see, I close the door and turn the light off. And it's, I'm not having office hours. Oh man, it's time for a nap, y'all. I got to get one of those things.
You meant that kind of an office. Okay, cool.
What kind of office did you think I meant?
A home office. I was like,
oh, well.
He has enough space in his place for an office at home? What?
Well, I intend on having. Well, you know what? See, okay, here's the thing. I'm also starting to feel a little bit guilty here because I've been talking about, functional. I mean, don't get me wrong. I have my fantasies of a dream office too. It contains the globe that opens up to have the bar on the inside.
That's so functional though. What are you talking about? That is the best functionality.
Yeah. I've got my Revolutionary War chess set that I'm so proud of, like the British versus the colonials, and they're, as the Washington's the king on one side and General Howe is the king on the other. And I want to set that up because it's very classy. Oh, wood paneling, cherry wood paneling and the whole thing. Big high-backed leather chair to sit behind my big Bragnogdian desk with a blotter and one of those green banker's lamps so I can look ever so academic. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I love when we talk about this specific fantasy because they're very similar fantasies. Our home office. This is what we fantasize about, Polly. with the bookshelves lining the walls, and then the rolling ladder.
Of course, you need the rolling ladder. You have to. It's
functional.
The greatest room building lair I have ever seen, ever, is in Superman 1978, the original Richard Donner film.
Yes.
Okay, Lex Luthor's underground lair. The old train station he had converted into his evil hideout was the most fantastic thing I've ever seen in my life. He had the bookshelf. It was all marble because it was like an old train station. So it's like he was in classical Greece or something, kind of. He had flooded a certain area of it, so he had his own swimming pool. And oh, man.
Ooh, speaking of future living situations and whatnot, I want to show you a type of house that I saw that I actually think I like better than the Victorian style, which is growth. All right, I've been growing as a person. Spanish Revival Colonial.
Hold on, let me embiggen my screen here.
So, like, this would be internally what that looks like, with the nice open ceiling in terms of the support beams.
Yeah.
The wood floor, but the outside is pretty.
Oh, look at that. Oh, that does look. I can see why it's called Spanish. It looks. I don't know why it looks Spanish, but it does. It looks very casa.
I like it. Sends the outdoor. This thing.
Oh, Felix is only asking 1.8 million.
Yeah, Spanish Revival architecture. Yeah, I don't know what it is about this. I think it's the roof style and also the openness. I guess. Yes, it's expensive, but
Inquisitors judging my use of the word cromulent. It's a perfectly cromulent word. That's fine.
A little balconies here.
Oh, speaking of balconies, you know what balconies I dig? The Southern architecture, the balconies that are on 2 levels and run all the way around the house. Do you know the ones I mean?
Oh, yes. I like myself a nice outdoor ledge.
To be able to walk the entirety of the second floor of your house on a balcony is pretty slick. Go out there in the morning with your cigarette and coffee and just walk around, and it's good to own land.
Dude, it would be so nice to be able to afford a house with a courtyard in the middle of it.
You know what I can see you really digging? What are they called in classical Roman houses? Like patrician houses, of course. They've got the open courtyard in the center that the ceiling's open and it's got the planted area. The villa? Is that what it's actually? I can't remember the name.
That's what it's called. I believe a villa.
A villa? I can see you really digging something like that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like, look at this. Look at this. This is my new aesthetic, guys. I'm sorry, but the Victorian... The thing was, it was nice while it lasted, but I think I found my dream aesthetic for a house. I was looking at some examples, and I'm like, I really like that because it's more open. There's more light that comes in, and that's really attractive to me. But also the aspect of like a courtyard, I really like that. And then look at that door. Look at that door. Does that not look like I'm gonna fuck you up if you bring me bad news type of door?
That is that door is something. That door frame, holy shit.
Yeah, what about this one? That is the outer gate door. That's not the outer door of the household. That's another thing. Would you like to be rich enough to have an outer gate, Polly?
If it's far enough away from the house, because it's like a quarter acre or something, when it's just like an iron gate that's
right in
stone's throw from the front door, not so much.
Anyway, so I found my new dream home. I'm gonna have to inform boyfriend of this. Why not 2 houses, Weebo? You know what? You make an excellent point. I could have my winter house and then my summer house and then just go between the 2, especially if I'm working remotely, especially if I publish the books like I want to and they're as successful as I hope they are. I can just be super rich. Yeah. I think, okay, the only thing that I super need, super need. The one thing that the Spanish colonial revival style house does not have that the Victorian style house does is the big porch, but it makes up for it in the courtyard style, where it has an open ceiling, just hangout area with the outside world in the middle of the house. I like that. I really like
Brad
that.
Young always pictured you in a hobbit hole.
In a what? Hey! Hey now.
What? An advocate says they're called a domus, not a villa.
Oh. Well, I'm not a Romanist, so I wouldn't know these things. That's where I would get and consult Balik, actually, because he's super into specifically Roman time classics nonsense, whereas I'm more of a Greek enthusiast for obvious reasons.
If I were to pick, I mean, the kind of house like looks like, oh, I love this kind of architecture. I'm not so much interested in the outside of the house, but like the inside, if it were the cabin look, like you would point out, the open rafters, wooden walls and so forth, that kind of stone floors, that sort of thing. Oh, hell yeah. I've seen some places that are described as like deluxe hunting lodges, and I'm looking at it and it's like, holy shit, that's sweet. Oh, yeah. Lots of natural wood inside. Yeah, cool.
Plus, if I wanted to hang out in my garden, I would just have to go to the interior of my house, is a thing. Yeah, but I do like the hardwood floor. That is a big thing. That's a big sell for me. That's always been a big sell, though.
I could see Weebo as a patrician.
A patrician?
Yeah. Upper class of noble families of Rome.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's just like, yes, I like the flowers inside. I don't want to have to go outside, that the sun might touch my fair skin. In here, pleb.
I would not rather socialize with the peasantry.
That's right. I want these daisies taken out. They're not fitting my mood. On with it.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, excellent question from Daniel Fullman. Would your villa still have the secret rooms and passageways? Absolutely. Absolutely, positively.
That's something that I always wanted. Like, you go down into the basement of the house and there's like behind a paint. There's a sub basement, of course, but then there's also a behind a painting that you open up. There's a little hatch that leads through a tunnel, and then you exit out through the fake water well that's half a click out. Yeah, just in case. You never know when you have to make a quick getaway.
Yeah, so I'm thinking maybe I should just invest in real estate. 2 houses, a winter house and a summer house. And I will get the best of both worlds.
See, this is what confuses me. I see people that are like fabulously wealthy. Your actors, your celebrities, your producers, your hedge fund managers, etc. Right? And they buy these Fifth Avenue apartments, right? Or that are just fantastically overpriced, or they buy Hollywood mansions. And you see like so-and-so just bought this mansion. You see that faggot ass Ethan Klein in the fucking multi-million-dollar mansion that he bought.
Yes, Polly.
And no disrespect to anybody who's homosexually inclined, but you know what I'm talking about. Like, I just don't like H3H3. That guy, he annoys me. You want to talk about bad takes? That guy's become a millionaire off of the worst takes imaginable, and people still tune in. Well, holy shit. My drunken rambling makes more sense than that guy on his sharpest day.
Yes, Polly?
Fuck, that guy's stupid. Anyway, I don't quite get that. I look at like Slick and Smart, and I look at people like Lucky Luciano, mobster from New York, in the early 30s into the 40s. So what does he do? Well, he's got a house out in Long Island, and it's not particularly ostentatious, but inside it's palatial. So where does he live in the city? Well, he's leased by the year a suite at the Waldorf Astoria. Leasing a suite at a hotel. That's so gangster. That's so brilliant. That's the way to live. You got 24-hour room service, beautiful room. The private elevator for the suites, only like 3 or 4 people use them, goes right down to the garage where you've got your leased the parking spot comes with it. That's a fantastic idea. Why don't millionaires do that more often? Why you want to buy an overpriced mansion just to live in between fucking Beyonce and Harvey Weinstein?
I don't know. I I think people. I actually have no commentary on this. Also, are you still there, Polly?
Yes. No, I was just
Okay.
reading chat. Like
Sounded like you cut
H3H3
out.
used to be good. I remember there were funny videos, and the guy can do some funny stuff. But then his podcast, that's kind of what I'm thinking of when I say Klein. Is like I'm thinking of him telling his wife, and obviously by extension all of his listeners, oh, here's how the world works. Here's my thoughts on race and politics and international relations. And it's you're a fucking moron.
Polly's really dissatisfied with people who tote drive-by politics and social commentary, isn't you?
When in talking, your base of knowledge is revealed and your information retrieval system is also revealed to be as slow as molasses in winter. I mean, yeah, that guy has said some.
Polly. Well, okay, now I have a question, right?
Tell me I'm wrong. I mean, we can call it drive-by politics, and people call it political commentary. Let's be honest. Most of the time, people are not talking about policy. They're just griping about it. So if you're just griping, bad-mouthing, and complaining about particular people in a particular genre, we already have a word for that in English. It's called gossip. You're engaged in political gossip.
Yes.
Sorry, go ahead, Weeps.
Does this expand to other aspects of the commentary, I guess you could say, community? Because it's a very broad community, and then you break it down into like little bite-sized chunks, and then sometimes people engage in the political aspect, but then other times people, like, for instance, Jacqueline Glenn will engage in a more religious aspect of commentary. And yeah, she has been she like has a history of being religious and then moving away from that. But technically, I mean, can she be considered an expert enough in this to actually talk about it with any authority? Would you hold her to the same standard in that regard? Like, she's got no theology degrees, so can she actually talk on this with the level of authority that she does?
No. Because especially with the last clause that you added on that, with the authority she does. No. Because, I mean, she has a religious past, and anybody can speak to their own past. Obviously, nobody's a greater expert in their own past than them. So obviously, she's the most authoritative person to speak on that. And
well, no, she's not just talking about her past, though. It's well, but she does less so today, but back, like, previously, she would have religious debates with actual people who boasted themselves as theologians, right? And they were a little bit more geared towards proving versus disproving versus whatever. What's the word I'm looking for here? Not conspiracy, but like it's contradictions. There we go. Contradictions and whatnot. Like, anyone can read the Bible, but to speak on a level of authority regarding history, theology, and the human condition, I guess. Do you need to have a degree in that to actually talk about it on the YouTube sphere?
Oh, God, no. No, you don't need to have a degree. Okay. No, it's like
what extent this extended.
There's people that are formally and informally informed on stuff. You don't need to have a formal education in anything to talk about something. But when you're not even ignorant, you're just plain ignorant. I mean, I'm going to prepare for this debate. Okay, what are contradictions in the Bible? And of course, I'm going to stick to the Old Testament. And it's like, oh, so it's you're supposed to be loving and caring and Christ-like. And then we go back 35 chapters into this Old Testament thing where this whore is being stoned to death. And isn't that a contradiction? And it's like, honey, it's puerile. It's knee-jerk. It's angry ex-girlfriend atheism. Clearly, you feel really burned and hard set by your earlier days, and that's fine, but not the way you do it, because you claim to have moved beyond it, but you're not. That's why I call it angry ex-girlfriend atheism. She reeks of it. Again, like you said, not so much anymore, but I mean, she had a whole video series called Christian Cringe, which wasn't focused on the particular group that she came from. It would just be like, oh, here's this person doing this and this person doing that. And they act, whether it be Amazing Atheist, whether it be Bible Reloaded, whether it be Jacqueline Glenn, they act as if, oh, I'm going to argue against the existence of God. Okay. But they don't. What they do is point out certain small country churches arguing for young earth creationism. Oh, how bold. That's not picking the lowest hanging fruit you possibly can.
So then you do have a contention with that aspect of commentary. It's just not the same contention.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, like, commentary is a widespread thing, right? There's people that never spread beyond, like, Brad Jones, Cinema Snob. It could be argued to be a commentary channel, and his commentary is on movies, particularly bad movies or brand new ones with his midnight reviews. Whatevs, man. I love me some Brad Jones. He's hilarious. So, I mean, he's commenting on movies. That's neither here nor there. He's informed enough because he watches a fuck ton of movies, especially shockingly obscure B movies. And has somehow figured out a way to review porn hilariously. In terms of like commentary, but when it comes to other things, and this is my guess, and this is complete guesswork at this point, I'm not trying to say this is factual. I think that there's a number of people who really enjoy ennobling their commentary. I want to talk about something serious. Listen to my big galaxy-brained ideas on politics. When in reality, what you're doing is gossiping and talking about what AOC said on Twitter. This is not policy. You're not willing to put any actual thought into this. Who are the Gang of Eight and why do they matter? This is not the American system. Really? Can you like intelligently discuss, not in excruciating detail and be able to quote verbatim, but just generally have an idea of what's in the Federalist and Anti-Federalist papers? You know what they are or why they were written. Can you tell me what the ratification process in general of the U.S. Constitution? If you can't, how are we going to have an intelligent discussion on the origins of the country? But I've known people that do it, and they're largely basing it off of fucking talking points that they've heard other places. So you heard someone somewhere say something that you thought was intelligent. Now I'm going to repeat it, and this has brought somehow raised the level of my discussion to the point where I sound intelligent. Oh, get fucked.
So then I guess a good question from here on would be, who would you consider to be of this caliber that you're looking for in terms of commentary on political?
You mean as in examples?
As in an example of who it is that you see as the person.
The person.
That represents what you would like to see in political commentary.
All right, see you later on Holy Reaper. Have a good night.
Bye.
Even if you strongly disagree with Ben Shapiro, the man has clearly put the time in. It's just you're not disagreeing with his body of knowledge, you're disagreeing with his conclusions that he's drawing from it.
Okay.
Right? Extremely informed guy.
But then there's the whole voice thing.
Oh yeah, there is.
I had to sit through for a very long time.
Speaking of the voice thing, I think Sargon of Akkad makes a definite effort to be informed on what he's talking about. You may not agree with him entirely, but he's trying his damnedest to actually be informed on things that he's talking about.
Yes.
But Pop-Tart, for example, can't stand the man because of the way he talks. It's not what he's talking about. It's how he's saying it. It's like, he just sounds so condescending. He sounds, and I've heard that from a number of people. Some people just can't take it from him. Same thing with Shapiro. It's like, I don't think that he puts America first as a constant criticism, or a fairly regular criticism I hear of Shapiro, but he's not a moron. You know, he's not faking anything, if you know what I mean. Sargon isn't really faking anything. You can think the guy has a whole series of bad takes, but he's not an idiot.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You know, when you hear Ethan Klein talk, the guy's not even trying. He's just talking.
Drive-by politics, yeah.
Yeah.
You just stop long enough to get your fix and to spout your nonsense to the world before you move on to the next thing. Is that because they're not as focused as they should be, and they're very topical in what they cover?
I think politics is all too easy of a thing to have a serious discussion on and pretend you have an opinion on, because you can just, pick your team, Republican, Democrat, You can argue about it the way that people argue about sports. I see a lot of similarities between the way that people do politics gossip and such a team.
Yeah.
It's a blind cheering somebody on. Orange man bad, Pelosi devil, like that sort of thing. It's I don't know. A lot of it is not terribly informative. People will read something on Twitter and then say it on their stream and describe what they're doing as breaking news. Blows my mind. Blows my mind. Oh,
I know,
Stick,
we
Text,
had
and
to
Hammer
cover this
is
in
another
many
example. You
minutes.
might not agree entirely with everything that Stick says, but the man is greatly informed and makes an effort to stay informed. That you might not like his takes, but at least he has an informed take.
What about
Pod Save America, to name someone from the left. Those guys are not idiots. They're very well informed. I think their takes are awful, but they're very well informed.
What about Lauren Chen? Roaming Millennial.
You know what? I have to claim ignorance. I've watched some Roaming Millennial videos, a few of them.
Back in the day when she was still doing the non-face cam stuff?
Yeah. And then I've seen some clips of her here and there. I saw some clips of her on Fox News, and she was there because Ben Shapiro had people on. I'm assuming that's why she was there. Mm-hmm. I don't really have a strong opinion one way or another. I know a lot of people do. They say things about her that she's playing a market and promoting herself, but honestly, I don't really have a strong opinion. I don't really know what to think. I've never really heard her dive into anything, with the exception of that vegan debate she had with Vegan Gains and Ask Yourself and Ranting Monkey, all four of them over on her channel. That's the only debate I actually watched her in, and I don't have a terribly good memory of it. I have a better memory of Ask Yourself getting Vegan Gains getting very, very angry, and Ask Yourself being like his rational attack dog.
I don't think I ever actually watched that. Can someone link it to me, por favor? I kind of want to watch it now. I like to revisit old stuff every once in a while. Like I just watched, I just rewatched all of the Scooby stuff, but I also just watched Polly's and Mine debate. Or not debate, our collab. The two-parter that we did about the women of the MCU.
You watched that again?
Yeah, I watched it this week. I had a good time. I was laughing. Yes, you can link it in the Discord. Check your logic. Thank you.
Yeah, well, just keep in mind you weren't laughing at everything you thought you were laughing at.
I was laughing pretty consistently at just our banter back and forth in the collab.
No, you weren't. You were pretty dead-faced the whole time. I just cut your laughs and pasted them after I said things.
No. I was laughing while rewatching it. Oh my gosh.
I know. That was a editing hurdle, man. Holy shit. Because our full record on that was, oh my God, it was almost 2 hours.
Yeah.
But a lot of it was extraneous discussion, right? But
it was
to try and get to the point and move it off. Remember, that was originally a top 12 list. Remember that?
Yeah.
But when you listen to the edit, you'd swear to God it was intentionally a top 10 list from the get-go. That was some magic of editing right there.
Nice.
Because in the course of that discussion, you convinced me that it's like, this really should have been a top 10 list, Polly. And I'm like, why? And then you kept bringing the point up, and I'm like, I'm slowly being persuaded to the point where when I went to edit it, I'm like, let's see if I can make this a top 10 list. And I did.
Yeah, I don't know how much my list is going to be of the men of the comic book universes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many it's going to be, because I still have it narrowed down to like 50 plus guys that I'm about to narrow down even further. Like after the first elimination round, we went from 280 to 50, and I'm still watching movies. So that number is going to fluctuate a little bit. But after the next round of elimination, it's going to go down. And I don't know at what number I'll be satisfied, or I'll stop siphoning off people.
Isn't your quantitative method going to filter out most of the people except for the top 15? At least you led me to believe it would.
Yes. Numerically speaking, the quantitative values that they will have achieved at the end of the elimination will be such, but I don't know if I want to make it a top 10 list or a top 15 list.
Right.
And then I was also thinking about, do I include list of people that didn't make it and why they didn't make it.
I mean, that was part one of mine, right?
Yeah.
Because I was saying this, like, I'm not gonna. When I started to rank order them, which just had them open in a Microsoft Word file, and I'm just like cutting and pasting as I'm ranking them, because mine was ad hoc and arbitrary. Mm-hmm. My rank ordering, just who I thought was the sexiest, because I thought they were generally the sexiest. I didn't approach it quantitatively.
They had an available picture of their shelf of boobs just right there, or they had a GIF.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, the idea is like, how much of an impact do they leave you with? And yeah. I don't know. Like, I actually have watched it once after I posted it, and looking at it, it's like, yeah, I think I would have changed some of the orders, not drastically. Mm-hmm. Peggy Carter would have been higher on the list. Revisiting it.
Yeah. I'm gonna say yeah. Definitely. Didn't you knock her back? Because why did you knock her back? Why didn't she make a top position on the list initially? I think it was.
I forget what my reasoning was. I gave some kind of reason. If I'm not mistaken, I think I put Scarlett Johansson ahead of her, which is definitely a mistake. Like, unlike Jack, who thinks like Scarlett Johansson is some kind of horrible creature. Like, he doesn't think she's attractive at all.
Yeah. No,
I don't think Scarlett Johansson's a terribly bright woman, but she's hot. There's no question about that.
Yeah.
But I don't think she should have been higher than Peggy Carter.
One of the pictures you used of Scarlett Johansson was an airbrush to hell picture of her as a blonde.
Oh, there was. But I put that picture in because of the sexy smirk smile that she was casting forth in that picture. And it was like, she does have that classic sexy smirk. I don't know what else to call it. She really does it well. And that particular picture, although admittedly it was airbrushed to hell, was the best exemplar I could find of it.
Yeah. And then you had several pictures of Peggy Carter. What's her actual name again? Oh god, I'm totally blanking on this.
Fuck. Fuck.
Chat, help us out here. But Peggy Carter as a character, from like, was it the 1950s? No, 1940s. 40s. Haley Atwell. Thank you. 40s. Sorry. The 1940s. Yeah, that's right. Because it was the Nazi shenanigans going on at that point. Mm-hmm. Yep, I'm familiar.
But, one thing that's awesome about her is that, like, even when you look around and you find pictures of her, of Haley Atwell, like on a red carpet or whatever, she's still fucking stunning. And she still very much looks like she does on screen. If you know what I mean. Remember we went over that whole thing, like, here's Scarlett Johansson, and we all agreed like she was or both of us agreed she was hottest in Iron Man 2 because her hair started getting stranger and stranger, and she started getting thicker and thicker.
No, it wasn't the thickness, it was just the hairstyle, I think.
She became more and more soccer mom as time went on.
Did she really? Hang on, now I need to.
Well, she's got like the long curly red locks, and come on, Scarlett, quit going with the platinum blonde. You're like a natural redhead. Rock it with respect.
Let's see. You mean soccer mom is in like thickness in the midsection?
No, when I said soccer mom, I meant the haircut. Like, that haircut was like boring mom haircut, for want of a better description.
And then in the final what do you call it movie? It was blonde ends, red roots. That was interesting. That was absolutely like, I'm going through a midlife crisis here.
And we both agreed that part of it in Avengers Endgame, like it was specifically to show the passage of time, right? With a different length hair and a different haircut, the big roots that were showing. It was a directorial call or a wardrobe call or whatever, just to show the passage of time. It wasn't about that she thought it looked good or whatever. But I maintain, well, okay, so people are saying like, what's wrong with the thickness? There's nothing wrong with thickness. And when you see her in like Iron Man 2, she's got some big old thick thighs that Jack has big problems with because he's weird.
Yep.
But then you see her in later roles and her in later movies, and her whatchamacallit. Okay, now I'm just looking at pictures of her. hot.
Yeah, no, okay, so this is the hairstyle that I desperately hated. What was it?
When you see her in her Black Widow onesie, it's not so much like on her as it is compressing her.
Yeah. She looks tiny in that. She looks really tiny in that. She looks
because she had actually bothered to she does look tiny there. It's like, I don't know why she doesn't look like that in the scene. I saw the picture earlier where she's stepping into the ring literally with Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
When she like kicks his ass in the movie, when they think she's just like an executive assistant type person, that she's not a super ninja.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit. Oh yeah. Her in that blouse that she's threatening to destroy with the breasticles. I mean, oof.
Is it this one?
Yeah. Oh,
that's because okay, I can tell you why exactly this is the case. It's because her hair is not wildly curly like it is in this one. Reason being
that's
is
wildly
because
curly, all right.
It's more tame than this, and that has the effect of making the woman seem smaller because it's bigger hair. Look. Okay, and I get that maybe it's not exactly the most apt comparison. Maybe if I just choose this picture versus this
Eric says that was Happy, not Robert Downey Jr. Fair enough. Okay. Oh, right, because Pepper and Robert Downey Jr. were sitting off to the side when she flipped him over, and then Pepper's like, "Oh my god!" Yeah, it's right.
And then there's this picture. She doesn't look like she changed. Wait, what the fuck is up with the eyes?
Oh, no, she look at those thighs. That's some hot thickness right there. Holy shit, woman! Hells to the yeah.
But it's different from if we go back up to here. It's smaller here than it was down.
There's the airbrush photo, by the way. You just scrolled by it.
Yeah, I noticed it. This one.
Yeah. See, look at that sexy smirk. That's a come hither boy look. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
I think she's a beautiful woman too. The darker her hair is, the better she looks, though. Definitely. The younger she looks, certainly.
She started going for this, like, I'm going to dye my hair virtually platinum blonde, and like so many other people in Hollywood, I'm going to try to adopt Marilyn Monroe's look, and it's like, yeah, and you're failing at it. Just stop. In my opinion.
You know what her natural hair color is?
Yeah, it's dark red, like whatever that,
really?
whatever that's called.
This one?
If you look at her in, I don't know what hair color you would call it. I don't want to name a hair color. You came after me last time. I displayed my ignorance.
Is it like which one?
If you,
this one?
Yeah, like see that really young picture of her before her nose job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like reddish brown. I don't know what to call that.
Oh, that's probably like it's a between strawberry blonde and dishwater blonde. That's like what my hair color is. Yeah, this. Maybe a darker version of mine is a lighter version of this.
See, she should have just left her goddamn nose alone. God damn it.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Hey, look.
And Jack keeps talking about her cottage cheese thighs. They're not. Eventually they were, but they weren't to begin with. And then Quiz reminded me of the red brown is auburn. Fair enough, that might be it. And then dishwater is what started your furious, angry typing during our record.
This dishwater blonde hair is this color right here.
Ah, well, that's blonder than I thought it was. Okay.
Well, the descriptors, they're not 100%. For whatever reason, highlights made it into this. What the frick? What the frickety frack? A natural dishwater blonde is like, no, this is more ashy.
I'm just going to...
I need to find an actual hairstylist with, like, credibility here. There we go. Natural.
That's credibly, obviously not a complete idiot.
Maybe this.
Weebs has strong opinions on her hair color knowledge.
I do. My mother was a hairstylist.
No, I get it. I heard. I was told off.
Yes. I know what I'm talking about. Anyway. So, Polly, would you like to leave the last, 15 or so minutes to chat time?
Indeed.
Excellent. Excellent. So, chat, if you would like to, and you feel so inclined to, ask a question of Polly or myself, you may feel free to do so in chat at this moment. We will endeavor to answer your questions to the best of our capabilities. And
Okay, I'm just looking at my list. Yeah, there's some things that I would change now. It wouldn't be radically reordered. That I believe the top 10 would still be the top 10. They would just be rearranged.
yeah.
I mean, Elizabeth Olsen, who played Scarlet Witch, there is a woman who looks very much different, like just walking around during her day than she does in the MCU films, which is something that I really noticed. Whereas like Haley Atwell, no, that's pretty much how she looks, just done up in a particular wardrobe and haircut. But no, she very much looks that way. Like I
stand by Elizabeth Olsen looking like a skeleton on two legs.
Kat Dennings would probably be moved down a little bit further. She's number 6. It's just, God, those tits. Oh my God. Have you seen the fappening leaks? Oh man.
No, I haven't, Polly, because I have a little bit more respect for.
They were deliberate. They were deliberate. I have a little bit more respect for people's privacy. She deliberately leaked them.
I have never in my entire life gone looking for fappening pics because I'm not that curious.
You're not that what?
Not curious.
Oh, you're not that curious.
Also, I don't know. I feel like I don't. It feels weird. It feels weird because these are people that you watch in like a movie capacity.
I probably would have interchanged Emily Van Camp and Rebecca Hall. Rebecca Hall would probably be number 2. Laura Harrier would still be number 1. And I don't care what fucking cocksuckers want to come up in my fucking DMs talking a whole bunch of bullshit. Which happened. Boy. Well, that did happen. Fucking weirdos, man.
Ooh. We have a question from the next 6 minutes. Polly, could I pull off a male Peggy Carter look, bro? ? Polly?
Could you go with period clothes for a man? Yes. I'd like to think so. Pinstripes are still in, yeah. The fedora, not so much anymore. Sadly, weirdo atheists online have ruined that. Fucking neckbeards. Women can still get away with it. Women can still wear the fedora and do the sexy, jaunty thing, I think.
Yeah, but you gotta curl your hair a little bit more. And I always have trouble with that because I have such thick, luxurious locks and they don't want to stay in. Oh, woe is me, the problems of me. Oh yeah, also pair to bear. That's also a good point. I have a boyfriend, so I don't know. The idea of lewds or any nudes on the internet is unattractive to me for many reasons. Specifically putting mine on there.
Brian Walters says, I just brought the chat back up. You keep Kat Dennings right where she is. I was surprised how opposed you were to where I put Rebecca Hall. You were just baffled by it. And I was like, oh, but that smile, those eyes, the slight freckles, the accent. Oh yeah, that woman just, oh man. She went got married. What kind of bullshit is that?
Where would you place Karen Gillan? Says Zariel.
I'm gonna have to look up off the top of my head. I'm not sure who that is. The name sounds familiar, but
or she was the blue chick from Guardians of the Galaxy. The cyborg chick. She's a redhead.
Oh, the cyborg chick. I thought you meant Mantis.
No. She was already on your list. I remember she didn't make.
She was number 17. Yeah.
Rich, yes, we can see your messages now. Were you having problems? ?
Let's see, Karen Gillan.
Yes, she was in Doctor Who and and Jumanji. Her name was Nebula. I actually liked her in Doctor Who, but I was not as big a fan of the 11th Doctor as I was of the 10th Doctor. Just saying. Polly, did you ever watch Doctor Who?
No, that's one nerdy thing I never got into.
I don't know. It's fun for the family, but also
she's all right.
Super sad at points. She's
just bringing up pictures of her on an image search. There's just such a wild range. She's looked so different in so many different things. Wow. Yeah, oh yeah, she's
Oh,
she
chat,
holds that
for
for a good
those
woman.
of you who are unaware who this madam is, let me give you a little preview. Oh, wow, that's not a good picture. There we go, that's better. That's her. She was in Jumanji. That was her in Jumanji. This is her as the MCU character. Let's see. Oh, she had stunt doubles galore. God damn. More pictures. More pictures. She's got really nice red hair. It's not super orangey, but it's not quite burgundy, you know? There she is. There she is again. This is her in Doctor Who. And this is her with short hair.
Okay.
And now I need like another example of her not in Jumanji, please and thank you, because I feel like that is biased. Because her intention as a character in that TV show, in that movie, was as a sexy bitch. So there's that. Ooh, I do not like the straight bob cut on anyone, I don't think. No, thank you. You look like a soccer mom. We need some texture here, people. That's better. This is her when she's younger, I'm assuming, right? 2017. That's not that young. Pigtail braids. Maybe. Sorry, I'm being super judgy of women now. Again, aren't I?
Yeah, well, that's why I brought you around.
Yeah. Okay, so guys, question, seriously.
What we're gonna do here is
Inquisitor told me to bite my tongue. I love the straight bob page girl haircut. Okay, maybe it looks good on specific people, but that was not a good people for it to look good on. Does that make sense? Weebo shall become a soccer mom. I don't count on it. I'll probably become the martial arts mom. Because if boyfriend and I are any indication, our children are going to have a tendency to either go the music route or the martial arts route. I don't think there's going to be much of an in between there, unless they're drastically their own person, which is entirely a possibility as well. But
okay. I have pictures.
you have pictures.
I do, so people can have a point of reference for what the hell I'm talking about.
Before you do that, Check Your Logic asks, why does Polly have no Easter avatar? Yeah, Polly, what's up with that?
I was thinking of doing an Easter otter, but I just didn't get around to it. Fuck, I should have gotten on that. Well, it's still topical. He's still in his COVID gear.
That's fair. I guess it's topical still.
Well, and sadly for a little time to come, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Gulf City Cult of Krill. What is the college situation, weebs? I'm still doing online classes. I'm not as bogged down by it, but I have maybe 4 weeks left, and then I'm out. And then I don't know what I'm going to do with myself, because I still haven't heard back from that company that I interviewed with a week and a half ago. So...
Oof, really?
Yeah. Is that bad?
Well, it could, the hiring processes can be very, very long.
Yeah. Okay. And there's Kat Dennings, right?
Okay, and this is what caused Kat Dennings to end up on the list that she did. This picture. I mean, my God. I mean, she's like, look at her face. She's very, very beautiful. But then, like, Jesus Christ. So yeah, just being a red-blooded male. Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's this is the picture that pretty much scored Scarlett Johansson her spot.
Oh my God.
I mean, again, she really should have left her nose alone. It's so obvious you got a nose job when you see it from the side. It's just like, honey. I remember when you saw this picture I don't know if it made it through the edit, but you said, I'll see, like, now, being a woman that's of a certain size, I see that and I just think, oh, honey, come here. Let me just pop those back in. Here we go.
There we go. We're good.
Yeah, you wanted to help. This is the picture pretty much scored Emily Van Camp's spot. I mean, fuck. I mean, there's other pictures where she's extremely attractive, but this one is just, holy shit.
This is the problem that I had with Polly's grading system, is that he was basing it off of just completely random arbitration. Nope.
Well, if an image grabs you in such a way, I mean, there's the other one where I remember, and I think it did make it through the edit, where there was this one of her, and you said, "No, see this one I like. See this one, she's very pretty." And then I said, "Yeah,
He's
but
not trying hard."
I said, "But this one," and if I remember your exact words, you said, "Well, okay, see, Polly, do you understand that that's the point? That one is supposed to get your ding dong hard, and the other one is just supposed to make her look pretty."
Yes, and I stand by that.
But it's clearly the same woman. I just found it Anyway, just found it funny.
No, they're very different people.
And Rebecca Hall. Oh my god. This woman's smile. Look at her.
Is not quite centered on her face. I think that was my criticism.
That was your criticism, but she's got those big pouty lips and that long, gorgeous mane of brunette hair, and then she starts talking with that English accent, and I'm like, hi. It's just, all the charm and savviness and swagger just disappears. I mean, that woman smiled at me, and I'd just be fucking lost, man. And she went and got married, and it pisses me the hell off.
Oh, you poor thing, because you ever stood a chance.
Yeah. Well, I'd rather you didn't deconstruct my fantasy life.
Yeah, you sure?
And then Laura Harrier. Oh my god.
I don't see it. Daniel Fleming. So Weebo's not picking her MCU guys by looks. I am, but it's very specific aspects of their looks. And I break it down in a very scientific way. Polly is privy to it. I will not get into it quite just yet. I'm gonna save that for the video, because that is a whole conversation all its own. Yeah, see, this is what I was talking about. You included a gift for one person and no one else.
There's a reason. Oh my god.
Not even a gift that actually is in any way chronologically ordered. We have the finger thing, and then we cut, and then she's just doing the thing. Like, there was no transition there that was smooth. It was just...
I'm sorry, were you talking?
And Polly's not paying attention. So, for us.
Because that's the cut of the original GIF. I tried finding out where it was from, and it's this is the best one I could find. What's interesting about that picture is that if you look at her, she's really dark there. I think the color correction is off. She's actually a lot lighter skinned than that. But I mean, oh my god, those eyes, the lips, just woo.
I don't see it. Also, remember, she played a teenager in the movie. Just saying.
She was 27 at the time.
I know.
That's the hilarity of Hollywood. It's got nothing to do with nothing.
I know. I'm being
just making my life hard.
Much like the women on your list, I am trying to make things hard for you.
Jesus.
Sorry, I could not resist taking the opportunity to make that joke. Inquisitor asks, is Chris Evans' hair plugs going to affect your placement of him? I think the way that I did it very well could be a possibility. But not the way that you think. Just saying.
Well,
just saying.
But if I'm not mistaken, your highly logical, scientific, quantitative methodology does include a hairline variable.
It does.
Okay. Now, Quiz raises a very interesting point. Chris Evans' hairline is fake news. Are you bringing that into consideration?
No. Because, hang on. The way that I was going at this, it was strictly just, I'm observing them visually. No other context. It's just me and the picture of the aspect that I'm analyzing, and whether or not it's present in that aspect, in that picture, or in that clip of them. that was it, because I didn't want to overcomplicate it too. Okay, now I have to do all of this extra added bonus research into a character or an actor and everything about them, so I know exactly what it is that I'm getting into. No, it was just strictly based off of what I can see, and that was it. Because actually, up until you said something, I didn't know about the hair plugs, and I was blissfully unaware of that.
Well,
So that wouldn't have factored in
he paid
anyway.
the heavy duty money. I was watching a a short video on how they do that. Like, we're talking individual follicle surgery. It's actually really impressive, like, that you can
Huh.
do that. You take an individual hair follicle from the back of the neck and transplant it to his balding front scalp, and then you take another one and then do it one at a time. And it's all that surgery is tens of thousands of fucking dollars. But when you're Chris Evans and you want to appear to have a full head of hair, that guy's just, he's jealous of guys like me. Got it all up there, and it's going to stay up there. And he's just jealous. He's just jealous.
So wait, where are they taking the hair from?
What's that?
Where are they taking the hair from originally?
Back of the head.
So, like, where the cowlick is, and they're just going...
Yeah, like, there's all sorts of, like, hair that, like, if you're a guy and you have short hair, like I do, like, you end up shaving up the back of your neck because there's hair you just don't want. If you're doing, like, a number 2 razor cut or whatever. It's like, yeah, just why not take those? Why not use those hairs? And then they do.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's wild. Like, hair plugs used to be like Joe Biden's hair plugs, where they would take a circle of skin and transplant it to the front. So you would have, like, literally plugs of hair coming out. And it's obvious because they're all together in chunks and it looks really gross and weird. And that's why, I mean, what's his name got it? Matthew McConaughey. That lying cocksucker said, because the man was, like, super thin hair and it was really long. He was doing a virtual comb over, still trying to look like young, sexy guy, even though he was going bald. And all of a sudden he's got, like, a full head of hair again. And it's like, what the hell? And in an interview, you should look it up and read it. It's hilarious what a bad lie it is. I took these pills and, like, oh, you got to be careful with them. You take too many and you'll turn into an overnight gorilla. Dude, if that were true, there would be no bald men, you fucking liar. There's some men out there that would be willing to put a second mortgage on their house to get those pills. If that were true, you're a fucking liar. You went and got surgery.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Looks like doll hair. Is it Michael Hatfield? Yeah, it does. Bad hair plugs. They just look awful. It just.
I'm looking at it right now.
Oh. Who? Hair plugs or?
Oh, Matthew McConaughey's hairline.
Oh, on how bald he used to be? Yeah, absolutely. Or balding. You know.
Hey,
there ain't no pill to grow hair.
I'm glad you got that hairline fixed. But yes, hairline is one of the factors that I look into when it is that I'm analyzing gentlemen. But I'm not. So I'm just looking at the picture. I'm not diving too deeply into.
But let me ask you this question.
Like what kind of gun it is that they use within the comic book universe that they're in.
Shut up. That was a fair consideration.
No, it wasn't.
I told you, when I had that Word file open and I was just, like, reordering them, it began to occur to me very quickly how incredibly arbitrary everything was anyway. And so I did think about it. Like, what am I going to... And Assassin of the Grey say you should have used in-picture, like, in-universe pictures only as they were with their characters, or maybe exclusively out of... And you argued for that. You should have had a consistency. If you had a GIF for one person, you should have a GIF for every person. But even on that basis, it would be, yeah, but I could have deliberately picked bad GIFs for people that I didn't want to be higher on the list. I argue you can end up doing the same thing, Weebs. You're going to go through your quantitative method and it's going to generate a list for you. And then you're going to go through and ad hoc and rearrange it as you like. It's going to be good for paring things down. And on that basis, good. But in the end, you're going to end up making arbitrary decisions nonetheless.
So at the end of the day, I am going to be ranking people on a list of, like, 10 to number 1, who's my top pick or whatever. That is actually my concern. If I don't have enough criteria to narrow down the list to the top 10 and there happen to be a few ties, I'm going to need a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm going to have that in every case.
You should let it be that way. I mean, quiz is like comic book guns. You mean how none of them can draw? No. It's if you watch the MCU list, Quiz, like, I mean, Weebs is right to be criticizing me on this. I knew what I was doing was bullshit. And I was doing it. I knew it. I even said it. I'm like, I know it's complete garbage, but who cares? It's just the guns that the armorer or the wardrobe people, as it fit in with their character, collectively decided that they should have. And I'm like, and this woman's extra hot because she's carrying this gun throughout the movie. So like Haley Atwell. Yeah, like I know it's not, but I just wanted to say something that was sexy about Haley Atwell because there were so many things that I was like, and she has a Walther PPK. Fuck yeah. Like it's perfect for her character. It's a sexy gun with a great mystique around it. And what more could you ask for than a sexy mystiqued gun for a woman full of the feminine mystique?
Yes.
Oh yeah. And then, Emily Van Camp, Jesus Christ, they had her with a FNX Tactical. I mean, are you fucking kidding me? You gave her a 15 round 45? Hell yeah. She looked hot as fuck carrying that big ass beast of a fucking pistol. It was great.
Wait, I have a question. And this could be the last question before we have to wrap things up because it's over time. Can you get hair plugs into like beard area too?
I don't see why not. I mean, I don't know is the answer.
Hair consistency is not the same as head hair consistency. So would you have to transplant like pubes?
That isn't, I mean, I've heard so many comedians crack that joke, getting your pubes put on your head, etc. It's like, your hair wasn't curly before. We know what you did. Ha, ha, ha.
No, but like the consistency is closer if you use that as opposed to this.
It probably would. One way or another, don't put pubes on your head.
All right, give me 1 sec. Then we can say goodbye and take it.
Okay. Charlie Harper says, I'm going through severe alcoholic anxiety tomorrow because I've been drunk for 3 days straight. Can anyone help me? Seriously, help. If you have any anxiety medication, I would definitely suggest it. If not, Benadryl to help you sleep. Not giving out medical advice. That's just what I would do if that in that kind of situation. I've never been there, so I wouldn't know. I would try and sleep it off as best you could. So over-the-counter sleep medications, no advice actually given because I am not qualified to give medical advice.
All right. Polly?
Yes.
Are you ready to wrap this up?
No.
Mama's got to go to bed.
Nope. We're going to keep it going.
Okay.
You go to bed and we'll stay here and make fun of you.
I could do that. I could just let this.
I'm just kidding. No, by all means, we could close it down.
Okay. Cool. So, thank you to all who joined us in viewing, and thank you to Polly for finally showing up at some point.
You can thank the pharmacy for finally handing out the medications in fast enough order that I actually made it here, sons of bitches.
Thank you so much, Polly. I appreciate it greatly because then we wouldn't get this conversation about like face pubes.
Face pubes. Well, you made Cult of Krill's day with the laugh about face pubes. So there you go. It was a worthwhile win.
It was a great time. Everyone, happy Easter. And thank you so much to all who donated, to all who liked, commented, shared, subscribed to both myself and Polly. You guys are what make this show possible. Without you, we just do this on Discord probably. Loki. That's probably how this would happen instead. Polly, thank you for coming along. Would you like to shill anything for the next week?
Oh, I didn't even think about that shilling, right?
Yeah, that's a thing.
World's worst YouTuber.
What? Shilling? No, actually, I have content?
Yeah, no shit, right?
Shiller.
There's a link to my channel. Jack and Quiz, who you both see in chat. Of course, we do comic book curation every Wednesday over on my channel. It's a great time. We did one last Wednesday. Well, it was funny. And then Noir Bar is always going on there. Actually, I uploaded I started clipping out the comic book pitches that we do at the end of episodes. I've already uploaded episode 79. I can make that live now, actually. I already clipped it and edited and uploaded it. I just haven't made it live yet. So those are going to be going on. And then the occasional Noir Bar happens. And we have all sorts of guests coming by, but Weebo's too good, so she's never been there.
I go to bed at a reasonable time, and I wake up at the butt crack of dawn. Excuse me.
That's fine. I'm just kidding. And I had asked her, I said, we can do earlier ones. They don't even need to be going on at the ultra late hours that they are. That's usually when it occurs to me for the first time, like, hey, I should do a stream. That's why they happen so irregularly. Regularizing them would probably do a lot for the viewership, honestly. And then I've got a number of shitposty videos that are in the works. They're not really on any particular subject, but they're all, oh, Weebs. You'll be so proud of this. You know what I did on my channel yesterday?
Your channel yesterday.
I organized everything.
Oh my gosh!
I actually did. So if you go check out my channel, the link is right there. You will see that like the playlist for Noir Bar, I created that playlist months and months ago when I first started doing Noir Bar. There were only 3 of them in there. That's how long it had been since I updated that playlist. Isn't that awful? So the comic book curation playlist actually has all of them in it. The Noir Bar playlist actually has all of them in it. The live reads playlist actually has all of them in it. Like it.
You know, you can set that to auto update with the titles.
No, I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, you can do that. I'll show you how to do it after this.
Cool. Cool.
Anyway, anything else that you would like to shill, Polly?
Nope. But like Cult of Krill says, Stooley's back on Noir Bar. So, you know, all of those who miss Stooley, he's back.
Nice. I just have one thing to shill thus far because it's the only thing that I know I'm going to get out this week. This stream, obviously, for next Sunday. We will be back here next Sunday. Same time, same place, same face, same otter. I need to find a better rhyme to describe you, Polly. And then...
As long as you don't make an otter pun. Those are done to death.
Yeah.
Polly Otter been here sooner. It's just don't do it.
That's stupid. And the other thing is, tomorrow I will be premiering the next episode of #EverythingIsSexist, which it's been a few months since I actually had one on this channel that I produced and put out, but it will be following. And as I said, and I repeated ad nauseum at the beginning of this before you came in, but it's following a case months in the making, years in the, like, just the amount of shit that I had to go through article wise. Oh my God. It took forever, but finally it's here, and the avatar is making an appearance. I'm super excited about that because that'll be the second video.
One last thing, Weebs. We can do a dual shill on it.
Oh.
The Star Wars holiday special things. Those are both up. If you haven't seen them already, by all means, go check them out.
Absolutely.
Weebo's review is on the channel you're currently watching on of the entire thing. God help her. She reviewed the whole thing.
I did.
And then over on my channel is the Wookiee translation edition that we wrote together, so you can see what the Wookiees are finally saying, 100% authentic translations.
Yeah. Anyway, enjoy, ladies and gents, and we'll see you next week.
Have a good night, everyone. Happy Easter!
And yes, happy Easter. And happy...
He is risen.
Happy Rabbit and Egg Day. Bye.
Bye.